I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python. Grab what I like real fast, stroke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it. I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python. Grab what I like real fast, stroke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it. if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Yes, good people. Big up to all of you good people. I appreciate you all finding the time to join me for this edition of the Blue Morning Show. This particular edition of the Blue Morning Show, I hope you're all doing well. I want to say thank you once more again for all the tremendous support, how you've supported the community tremendously. And that's the reason why we're growing as quick as we're growing. I appreciate you all. Today, we will be previewing Chelsea's home game against Newcastle United. And then I don't think there's any serious news item to address, but as the show progresses, if any emerges, be rest assured we'll talk about it here. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people. First things first, if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. The more likes we garner, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the stream to more people who be interested in the topics we have lined up. But that's, by the way, let's address your comments in the screen in the chat area. We don't have too many right now, and that's Namaya Fowler. Happy Sunday to you too, Namaya. I hope you're doing well. I think we'll draw tomorrow. Let's find out tomorrow. It's not like it's 1,000 years from now. Tomorrow we'll find out in a few hours. You want Poch gone? A lot of people want Poch gone. Coach, was it a mistake to sell Jorginho and have it? I wouldn't say so. The club had to sell them both, especially Jorginho. If we didn't sell him, he'd leave as a free agent. That was a huge risk I didn't want us to take. So don't worry yourself. If don't bother yourself too much, because probably you're watching them and you feel like they're doing well, and Arsenal are top in the league. So yeah, don't worry about it. Hazard, I knew was a good player. Even both were good players for us. But I knew from time at the time I realized that Jinho probably would prefer to run down his contract and leave as a free agent, which will lead to him making more money, getting the sign-on fee and everything else. Havertz, and in this case, didn't want to take a pay cut. He wanted to leave Chelsea, and it's business for all parties involved. So at the time, I understood his decision to seek a new challenge, for lack of a better language. There, I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along with 6 likes. No matter for I'm quite sure you haven't liked the video, because I knew how many. I realized I knew how many likes we had before you joined. So make sure you like the video, guys, and keep and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I have my bro Glenn 10. I appreciate you for finding the time to join us this particular morning. You legend. He said, "Big up, Coachella. I hope you are having a great Sunday so far. Big up, chat. So far so good. But the wife has said we must go to church today, so I must. But this is for you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join." Okay, it looks like the Bluetooth for game isn't anywhere near anywhere near the show this morning, so the soundboard worked correctly. But big up, nice to see you, Glenn. I hope you're doing well. So the first item we have lined up, we're not going to waste time. The sooner we get done, the better. This says that Chelsea Football Club was founded 119 years ago. 119 years ago today. Happy birthday to the greatest club in the world. That's how I see it too. Let's start. Greatest club, the biggest club in London, the greatest. You can say, yeah, let's go with the world next. But I want to be more specific. So those that are thinking because they ain't in the top four, they're a better club or a bigger club than us. No, that's not what it is. But happy birthday to our beloved club. Yep, I know the future will be bright. The immediate future, we need to find a solution and sort out all the crappy stuff we're going through. But that's by the way, if you're in the chat, if you don't mind, I want to know your favorite Chelsea moment. Mine was when we won our first league trophy under Jose Mourinho. It's unforgettable. That date, can't remember the date exactly, but I think it was in 2004. But I will never forget that feeling. And then another one, the day we won our first UEFA Champions League trophy. Those two periods, two events, for lack of a better language. So if you're watching, I want to know your favorite Chelsea moment. And after that, we get into previewing the game. I can't speak this morning. Maybe I'm so sleepy. We get to previewing the game. And then do also the lineup prediction exercise. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 7 likes, and we are 11 minutes into the show. I appreciate you all, but I think we can do way better than 7 likes. Let's see. Let me take a sip of my coffee. I'm not going to tell you how good it is. The last time I tried to do that, I nearly choked on it. Right? But it's all I can say, it's a good coffee. It's good coffee. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along with, once again, happy birthday to one of the most beautiful clubs in the world. I cannot say that enough. I appreciate my club, love my club so much, no matter what we're going through right now. I know it's temporary. We'll get there. We shall overcome. Yep. And something else here on the screen which says 2 years ago, Chelsea were sanctioned by the UK government, and to this day, we still haven't fully recovered. That's when everything started. We have to be truthful there. Government sanctions on Chelsea FC. Let me just bring this window over here. It's important that we look at it. And if you're in the chat, I want to hear your favorite Chelsea moment. Yep, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's read this one. I think it's important that we do. Clearly states what happened. Okay. This says 2 years ago, Chelsea were sanctioned by the UK government, and to this day, we still haven't fully recovered. Government sanctions on Chelsea FC. One, continue to play matches, receive a broadcast money, allow season ticket holders to attempt games, buy new players, cannot. Those are the only 3 things we were allowed to do at the time. Were to continue to play matches, receive broadcast money at the time. We were allowed, season ticket holders were allowed. Of course, politics is involved, so season ticket holders will be allowed to attend games so they don't vote against them when the time to vote comes around. Yep, what we weren't allowed to do at the time, buy new players. We weren't allowed to agree new contracts with players. That led to a lot of backlogs at the time, leading to 2 of our most experienced players at the time. One of our most experienced players is specifically in Antonio Rudiger leaving the club, because we were close to getting him to put pen to paper when that issue occurred. A lot of people don't talk about that. We weren't allowed to sell new tickets for games. We weren't allowed to sell the club shop merchandise. We weren't allowed to sell the club unless Abramovich allows the UK government to take control of the process, and he receives no proceeds from the sale. That's brutal, really. That's seriously brutal, I have to say. But we shall overcome. We're getting there. Things will fall into place. Chelsea will always be great. We'll become great again. Once I say that, something comes to mind, but I don't want to say it. And Glenn, big up Kachila. Hope you are. Yep, I am, bro. I think I've read that one already. Happy birthday, Chelsea. Yep, happy birthday to the greatest club in the world, in my view. Anybody else can say whatever they want. So if you're in the chat, I want to hear your favorite Chelsea moments. Just pick one. I picked 2 when we won our first Premier League and when we won our first UEFA Champions League. Those 2. Vic, nice to see you, Vic. I appreciate you finding the time joining the show, bro. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough. Let's see what else we have here. Big up, Vic. I have too many moments and not enough characters to type. Just give us one. We want just one from you. One will be enough. You don't have to mention too many. Just mention one, and we'll take it. One will be enough. Yeah. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 8 likes, we can do much, much better. Let's see if we can get it to 100 likes today. Shamelessly, we're still out begging for likes, and we have 19,000 plus subscribers. I don't know why we're still begging for likes. But such is life. I think we'll get there. We'll grow begging for likes. We're getting there gradually. Let's see what Vic has to say here. For some reason, Adrian Mutu's goal against Leicester City in the 03-04 season is always in my head. It was a rebound from his own, blocked a free kick. Wow, that's not easy to score from a rebound from your own free kick, because I'm guessing the free kick most definitely outside the box, and then wow, had to go for the rebound and score. That's not easy. But if you're referencing goals, I'd say my favorite again during that period, I'd say, was it what year? I will never forget that goal. Hernan Crespo. When we beat, I think it was Wigan 1-0, one goal to nothing. It was Crespo that scored that beautiful goal. I think it was a coiler, and what people were thinking at the time that the game was going to end in a draw or something. He came up with that beauty. And on the day, Wigan were very difficult to beat. I haven't forgotten. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I appreciate you all. Once again, your favorite Chelsea moment is the question we're asking. And to say again once more, the British government at the time, even, I don't know, they wanted to punish a Roman to an extent that they didn't even care about how the club, a big club, a huge English club, would suffer at the time. They didn't care that much. Whether the club ended up going into administration at the time, they didn't care. They just, wow, that was brutal, really. Let's see, your favorite Chelsea moments. I'm still waiting to hear from more people. Big up, Glenn. And he's saying winning trophies are automatically up there. So I will go for the second leg against Napoli. They were a very strong side. They had what's the guy that later was later transferred to PSG, a striker. They had one Swedes. I think they had one Swiss player, not Swiss. What's his name again? But I remember the name I'm looking for. Yep, these are the names. Cavani. Yep, Edson Cavani was the name I was looking for. Ezekiel Lavezzi also, and Hamsik. Hamsik was his other name, but I remember Ezekiel Lavezzi. I remember Edson Cavani. Hamsik did score against us at home, right? He scored against us at home, and a lot of people thought he was finished. I will never forget that game. It was magical, because that was when a lot of people knew that we were going to win the Champions League. It was a game, a good one. Lethal trio. The three of them were lethal for Napoli at the time. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. How many likes do we have? We have 9 likes in total, but we should be doing way better than 9 likes. But more importantly, once again, happy birthday to our beloved club, Chelsea Football Club. I don't know how it feels to support any other club, and I'm happy that that's the case. And I'm happy that my boys are even the one that, because of his uncle, liked Liverpool. It's all Chelsea right now. I'm not going to say I'm indoctrinating them. No, that's what they see me do every day. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. So we get into the match of preview proper and predictions. Folkmob is predicting that Chelsea will start with a back 4-2-3-1, the usual structure. They're predicting that Gusto will play in the left back position and Disasi right back. 2 center backs. They're predicting that it will be Silva and Chalova. 2 sixes, the usual suspects there, Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. And then the 3 in behind the striker there, left wing Raheem Sterling, right wing Cole Palmer, 10, Mudryk. Do I think I'd see Mudryk in the 10 position? Maybe. The last time he played there, he looked at home. So maybe he playing there. Jackson, they're predicting that Jackson will score. We'll do our own lineup. We'll start, so to speak. We will do our own lineup prediction exercise. And I see Vic there saying, yeah, Glenn, what a team Napoli. Yeah, they had some special talents that time in the team, and they did quite well that season. But Napoli will always be Napoli. If you come with the money, they sell their players to you, and I think they're confident in their ability to scout and bring in capable replacement for the players they sell. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along with 10 likes, and we're 20 minutes into the show. We should be doing way, way, way better than that. But it looks like it's going to be a slow day today. But no worries, we've been there. The things will change. Yep, good coffee right there. And I'm not going to say even more. So let's look at what we have here. For injuries, and we have Ben Chilwell out. We all know that. Unknown injury. that's as funny as it gets, man. Benoit Badiashile is still out a few days. I thought he's been back to full training for a while now. Connie Chukwuemeka ankle injury. Christopher Nkunku injury late March. Leslie Gochiku hamstring a few days. Okay. Levi Colwell late March, toe injury. That's serious. Rhys James hamstring early April. Romeo Lavia mid-March. So he's expected to be. I don't think he gets to play match at all. That's because it would be a huge risk since he's shown that he's made of glass. Why risk too much? Wesley Fofana, cruciate ligament damage. He will not be back until late March 2024. I don't want him to play this season at all. Because him playing again, for me, I fear he'd get injured again. Just give him time. Only train and recover fully and stay fit. We don't want a situation where a player recovers, plays 5 minutes for the club, and then gets injured again. I'm concerned that's an issue. Cavani, Lavezzi, and Hamsik, yeah, three of them. Yep, I agree with you. Let's see what else we have here. At this moment, I even used to having two squads, one on the bench and the ones out injured. You know what? I think I should actually make a lineup, a Chelsea injured lineup. And you can say the lineup actually, if you register them for the league, I think they'd finish mid-table. And actually, some chances that they'd be able to finish above the current starting, you can say, fit players that we have. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. For Newcastle United, they have Sandro Tonelli out, suspended. We know that he did a Tonne. Callum Wilson out. That's another guy that does well against us. I'm glad he's out. Joe Linton is out. They're depleted, and that's when you get concerned. Unfortunately, you can't say because they have this many important players out that we're definitely beating them. If anything, every time we play against a depleted team, that's when I get concerned. And that's because Charity FC is well and truly in existence. And I'm concerned that they have this many players out. Tonelli, hasn't played for them for a while. And I think for how long? I've forgotten the length of his suspension. Callum Wilson, a very important player. Joe Linton, a very important player. Kieran Trippier, their captain, an excellent player. Lewis Hall, we know. They're saying he's injured too. But they still have Alexander Isak, an excellent player too. He scored against us the last time we played against them. Actually, we'll never forget that. So my point is, I get it. They're depleted. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can say 5 important players. So let's say, 5 important players out. But we're talking about Chelsea Football Club, and we know that Charity FC is well and truly in existence, which means, no matter what the numbers tell us, chances that we're going to get beaten. Because there's something as a Chelsea player right now you have to bear at the back of your mind. If we're playing against a team that has lost 999 games and their 1,000th attempt for a win, will be against Chelsea Football Club. Chances that they get a win on that day. That's how we're the gift that keeps giving. See, I'm predicting the score tomorrow. Let's see. Poch needs to go. He can take Gallagher away too. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, tell him what he said. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with 12 likes. But yeah, come on, people. We should be doing way better than 12 likes there. Although we have 20 people watching, and nearly 50% of that is on X. Only 10 people on Twitter. Yeah, maybe probably because this show was postponed around, let's say, 3 times in total. Yeah. Okay, let's see teams' current form. Teams' current form pretty much the same, but you could argue they are in a better form than us. The difference being that maybe they've considered more than us. Yeah, they've considered more goals than us, but pretty close. I'll count that in a bit. But they're in a better form. That's because they've won 3 out of their 5 last games. Last game, we won just 2. We lost 1. They lost 1. 2. We drew 2. So if you're comparing those two, yeah, clearly they are in a better form than us. Let's see what else we have here. So let's see. In the last 5 games, they've considered how many? In our last 5 games, how many goals did we consider? We conceded 2 here, 4, 5, 6, 7 in total, and in their last 5 games they conceded this must be penalties. I think it was so let's say I don't want to look at the numbers there. Let's just count it. Yeah, they considered 4, 8. Well, I should have beat them 4-1, 8, then plus 2, 10, 12. So they considered more, no matter how you want to count it. I wasn't sure what was the score before they went to penalties, because this looks like it was decided on penalties. Just give me a second. Let's check that to be too short, to be very short. Yep, they beat them. It was 1-1. So even if we count that 1, so it'd be 11 in total. How many minus 4? I think we considered more than them. Yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We have, how many do we have in total? We have 12 likes. We should be doing way better than that, people. Please keep dropping the likes on the stream. If you haven't, make sure to drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I can't speak this morning. Give me a second here. So while you wait for me, the question I want to ask you is this: are you looking forward to this game? Do you think we beat them? Do you think it ends in a draw? Do you think they will beat us at home? Let's hear you. Whatever you think will happen on that day, let's hear you. Oh my goodness, a lot of pop-ups here, and I don't like that. Maybe I'm not logged in. Okay, yeah, I am not logged in. So let's vote here. Who will win? I will vote for my club to win, of course. And then the result says 58% of people, 58% thinks Chelsea will win. 8% thinks it ends in a draw, and 34% thinks they will beat us. That's how things have changed. Usually a year or 2 ago, you'd see around 60 to 70% voting that Chelsea will beat Newcastle United. But unfortunately, yeah, look how things have changed there. For where are we? We are still 11th in the table. We've been there for a while. We've been fluctuating between 10th, 12th, and 11th. Yep. And for Newcastle United, they are above us. They're 9th. They have 40 points, and we need to beat them. We've played 26, so we need to beat them to overtake. If we win, we'll be 39 points in total. But I don't think we scored that many goals to leapfrog Brighton. Yeah, that's concerning. So I think we'll probably end up and then we'll probably end the week remaining in 10th of we're 11th actually, going down to, is there a possibility that no, I don't think we'll go down to 12th. I think we'll still be there. We'll remain 11th and will not go up. That's what I think will happen. But let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We're gonna look at the numbers and see what they tell us. See what the numbers suggest. Let's look at the numbers here. Please, if you're watching and if you haven't, kindly drop a like on the stream for us. Help us garner more likes. The more likes we garner, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the stream to more people who'll be interested. And we have in the house Rich Money Makers. you're doing well. And Glenn is saying it's going to be a difficult game either way. Might end as a draw. Let's see what happens. I will look at the numbers and I'll say what the numbers tell me before we go ahead. And Neri, nice to see you, Neri. I hope you're doing well. A happy 119th birthday to the best team in the world, best club in the world. That's how I see it. People can say what they want. If we're trying to annoy even people more, we say the biggest club in London for obvious reasons. Poch is not getting fired soon. Just let Nehemiah enjoy himself. And it's crazy to assume Glenn will be happy with Chelsea. Okay, Glenn 10 will be happy with Chelsea again once we fire him. Yeah. Good run there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 14 likes. We should be doing way better than that, and that's because we are 30 minutes into the show. If you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream, people. The likes will go longer. So let's see what the numbers tell us. The numbers say we're ranked 8th in goals scored per match. We're averaging 1.7 goals per match. Newcastle United, they're ranked 5th in goals scored per match. They're averaging 2.1 goals per match. So even if we score, chances are they outscore us. Since the start of the season, actually, I think they've been they've been in the top 6 top 6 scoring sides because they've been scoring a lot of goals. But I think that has reduced a bit. We haven't kept a clean sheet in our last 8 matches, so it doesn't look good for us. If we're going by what the numbers are saying, the fact that they're averaging 2.1 goals per game and we're averaging 1.7 goals per game, that simply means that they are more likely to outscore us. But that's not to say certainly they are going to beat us. That's because you cannot script football. The game is played over 90 minutes plus at a time. So the third insight here is that Cole Palmer has created the most big chances, and we have also missed the most big chances. That's how, crazy it's been for us. And Kieran Trippier is ranked number 3 in big chances created in the competition. Wow, 13 in total. He's not playing. But then again, I've said before, I wouldn't say it's a good thing that he's not playing. We're Chelsea and Charity FC is well and truly in existence. So because he's not playing isn't a guarantee that we'll end up that we're gonna win the game. No, it's not guaranteed we win the game because Kieran Trippier isn't playing. So keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have 16 likes. We should be doing way better than that. Even if Poch gets the sack, I wouldn't be happy. That's true. It runs deeper than just the managers and players. As simple as that. And I've realized that a long time ago. So that's why I'm not going about with a placard saying Poch out. Yeah, the issue is deeper and it has to be sorted out. Poch is not the sole reason why we're struggling. I have my argument, my opinion on him. But beyond that, the issue is deeper. So I do agree with Glenn there. JC, big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I hope you're doing well. If you haven't, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 16 likes. We should be doing way better than 16 likes. Get the likes up, people. Get the likes up. Let's see. Big up to you too, Rich Money Makers. I hope you're doing well. And if you're in the chat, the question, I've asked this question, and we're going to go back to it in a bit. And very soon, as soon as possible, we'll start the lineup prediction exercise. That's because we're almost through with looking at the numbers. So I want to hear you, JC, Rich Money Makers, the Mayor Forward, your favorite Chelsea moment since you became a Chelsea fan. Let's hear you. So let's see. Head to head, we've won 15 times, they've won 9 times. And there's 5 draws. And in our last 5 meetings, we beat them on penalties for the EFL Cup. Before that, they beat us 4-1 in the Premier League at home. Then it was a draw. You could argue they've won 2 out of 5 meetings, and we've won 1 and due to. So they've gotten the better of us in our last 5 meetings. Since they become the big boys, it's been a bit difficult to beat them. For lack of a better way to say that. Poch full of excuses, guys. Why he talking to Newcastle? Why he talking for Newcastle? Okay. I don't want to talk about Poch right now. Wolves are 4 points above us embarrassing. There are so many things to be embarrassed about. And let's see. The job ahead to level the score. That was a moment from destiny. To level the score against, I'm guessing, Bayern Munich at their home turf on their carpet, the Champions League final. Nobody gave us a chance before that final. But people who understand how, again, when something is written in the skies, knew that trophy was ours for taking. After that, we overcome how many goals deficit against Napoli, and also beaten Barcelona. At Nou Camp. Knew that time. Knew at the time that Chelsea that we were going to win the final. But what the header that was, it was an excellent header. Manuel Neuer couldn't reach it properly. They scored against us again with a header too, a header that I'd argue on that day that Petr Cech could have done better, but he did well during the penalties. So I'm not here to point fingers. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. So if you've answered, if you've again given us your favorite Chelsea moment, the next question is: are you looking forward to this game? Do you think we beat them? Do you think they beat us, or do you think the game ends in a draw? Whatever you think would be the case, you let us know. That's it for the numbers. Numbers suggest, well, most likely numbers, team's current form and everything that suggests, the fact that we concede. We've conceded. We haven't kept a clean sheet in 8 games. Numbers suggest that we're going to lose this one. But again, you have to realize that football is played over 90 minutes from either time. So this nostalgia trip is insane, considering we beat Napoli, Barca, and Bayern when no one gave us a chance. While we're now facing Brentford. Yeah, exactly. So the contrast is the contrast is seriously concerning. At the time, look at the teams who beat to the final. You can say the same thing again. The last time we won the Champions League, we did beat some of the biggest names in world football, like Real Madrid, where we beat Man City in the final also. I think we shall overcome. Only a matter of time. It's painful, really, to sit down and realize how different we are right now from the club we were at the time. But I think we will get there. We'll get back on track. And once that happens, I don't know what will happen again to break us to the extent that we're broken right now. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. We're going to get into the match lineup prediction exercise as soon as possible. And we're not going to waste time on it. The sooner we get done, the better. I really, really do want to go to church today. Another moment which gave me a feeling of the completion of Sacco was the moment Tuchel was appointed the manager. To be honest, I wanted club to appoint him before PSG took him when he came. It seemed perfect. It was a marriage made in heaven. The fans loved him so much, except at the time where people were, you can say, didn't like how their perceived ill treatment, or you can say bad treatment of Romelu Lukaku and also Christian Pulisic led to a lot of people hating him. But that's probably why I'm going to move on. If it were up to me, I'd bring him back to Chelsea without hesitation. And I love him so much, and I think the fans love him so much too, and I think he knows that, and everybody knows that. From giant killers to ant hunters, wow, that's insulting, really. Right now for this team, the perfect manager is Luis Enrique, and once again, PSG has stolen, you can say, he's gone to PSG. And do you think we'd see him come to Chelsea, just like the case of this as was the case for what's his name? Thomas Tuchel. I don't know. I think it will be very difficult for him to come. For the owners to decide to give him another chance. But that's why the way I love him so much, and I will never forget how much he won for us within how many months actually? quicker than any manager we've had in the past. Let's just leave it at that. But that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding time to join the show. We have 16 likes and we are 39 minutes into the show. We should be doing much better than 16 likes. So if you're watching and for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat, just know that we appreciate you. And that's because you watching alone does go a long way. But we want to ask you for one favor, one tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second and drop a like on the stream for us. The likes that do go a long way. Help us garner more likes, people. Let's see anything else. That's it. I think we're going to get to the lineup prediction exercise. We've gone through this. And if we're going by the numbers alone, yeah, the most likely outcome will be Chelsea losing to Newcastle United, and I hope it doesn't end like that. All right, the lineup prediction exercise. As soon as we get done, we'll call it a day. No need to waste time. I get it. Not too many likes, not too many views in the back end. Just 68 views in the back end. That will improve, but we have to start streaming consistently and not postpone shows like that, which I don't do intentionally. Give me a second while I take a sip of my coffee. Good coffee, and I make good coffee, so hopefully I don't choke on it like it happened last time. So yeah, let's get into the lineup prediction exercise. 4-2-3-1. We should just go with that. I know again the Poch will almost always use a hybrid approach. We've seen that ourselves. So between the sticks, let's go. Let's start it. Between the sticks, I'd say we have here Petrovic, definitely. Okay, I was using the wrong keyboard. Petrovic. I think he starts, and we all know that already. He's the first choice goalkeeper. We don't need that on a board, on a notice board, to know that that's the case. Yes, Vic. And he went back to Spain after an interview and told journalists at interviews that life is rosy, sunshine, and carnivals from where he comes. Do you get the point? He saw it. That club was a dreamer. I'm not sure. Maybe that's. I'm not sure. I understand what you're trying to say there. Probably because I don't get the what you're referencing there. I don't quite remember. But yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I think Kukurea starts in the left back position. I don't think Gusto will be moved to the left. I think Kukurea probably most likely ready to play this game. I don't think the manager would want to change too much in the central area. But that's just my opinion anyway. We'll find out. Coach, are you enjoying your coffee? I am enjoying. I love coffee. I don't think I'd be able to function without a good coffee. Not even not even the diluted version. I like strong coffee without cream. I can drink coffee without cream and sugar and enjoy it even more. I don't like sugar that much. My wife got me to stop using sugar, and I'm glad she did. So right now, I hardly use sugar these days. Big up O'Neill. Nice to see you, O'Neill. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but nice to see you. We should have allowed the room for flexibility. Taking almost everything from the manager is delusional. I think I agree. Let's see what else we have here. How many coffees do you drink a day? Once the first again, I that's just me trying to drink a coffee in moderation. That's why once a day. Maybe if I dozed off during the day for some reason and I wake up and I want to wake up as soon as possible to start taking care of something else, then I take coffee to help me wake me up. But I don't drink it to an extent where I hardly go more than a cup per day. Yeah. Except after my afternoon. Again, if we had the show during the morning, early morning shows like I have to wake up 2:30, 2:20 a.m. to come do some research and prepare for the show. It simply means that during the day I'd find time to sleep. And when I do that, if I wake up again and if I have something else to do, I'd have to make myself a cup of coffee. So, but I don't want to be drinking it too much, but I can't function properly if I don't drink coffee in the morning. But that's why we're now here to discuss coffee. But Rich Moneymaker is a good question. So what do you guys think? Do you see Mark Kukurea starting? I think I see him starting. He's been fit for a while now, and I don't see the manager moving the Sassi to right back and making changes again in the central area. I think that would be problematic. I think Gusto starts here. So, but if you think that the manager would do otherwise, you let me know so we can have that conversation there. Let's see what JC. He was at the airport after Bali's after the presentation to Bali after Bali presentation, and he called Project Rosie, Dreamer, Sunshine, Headaches, and Carnivals. But he saw different side to those. Okay, that statement was loaded with sarcasm. Yep, yeah, it's a deeper. Again, if you take your time to decipher, you understand what he's trying to say there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Roger Dodger, Ola Dodger is in the house. Aloha, gracias, ciao. With 2 tablespoons of sugar, and my sugar has increased since supporting Chelsea. Under the new owners. Again, my wife got me to start using sugar less and less, and I can drink a coffee without having a drop of sugar in it. Yep, just black. But thank you for that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with Private Roger. That's a one from Glenn. So Roger, we're gonna take you back a bit. We still have time before we get to the lineup. Go back to the lineup prediction exercise. Chelsea is 119 years today. So today is Aka's 119th birthday, and the question we've asked those people in the chat, and it's just you and I on the panel right now. Is we want to hear your favorite Chelsea moments, if you don't mind.
Hello, Coach. How are you?
Yeah, big up, Roger. Too difficult for you?
No, many happy returns of the day to Chelsea, obviously. I've got multiple moments, really do. It's hard to say.
Can we at least get a few from you?
Yeah, I would have to say Drogba's penalty kick. You know,
okay.
In the Champions League final.
Champions League.
Because I'll be honest with you, growing up as a wee lad in the 70s, early 70s, we got, relegated twice. And had you told me we would be eventually European/Champions League winners, not just once, but twice, I would have laughed at you. I would have accused you of being on illegal substances. There wasn't a snowball's chance in hell that could ever transpire. In fact, the thought hadn't even entered my mind.
Yeah,
honestly,
just a few seconds. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Rudy.
Yeah. So for that to actually transpire, and for it to actually occur twice, I'm living the dream, because most Chelsea fans, I believe, in my generation, never saw that coming whatsoever. Never saw. Listen, we were successful before Roman purchased the team. I believe the previous 7 years, our lowest rank in the Premier League was 6th. So, and we had won trophies also. But after Roman bought the team, everyone knows we took it to a new height. But so to me, it's listen. A lot of people rank winning your home league as more important than winning the Champions League. I looked at the Champions League, for whatever reason, as the Holy Grail. And so for that to actually occur, that was huge. I would have to say my earliest memory is Chelsea winning against Leeds in the FA Cup final. Because I remember the first one that was played at Wembley. Don't forget, we actually didn't win the FA Cup originally at Wembley. The replay was played at, trying to think, was it Villa Park or was it Old Trafford? I think it was Old Trafford, but I can't recall. But that was a huge thing. There's multiple times. Obviously, lifting our first Premier League. One of the biggest victories, actually, a game beating Man U 4-0. That was wunderbar. Das ist gut, ja. Das ist wunderbar. I have many great memories, but if I had to pick one, it has to be Drogba's kick. Yeah, that was.
That's a good one.
You take that to your grave with you.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Roger. Would you say that because we gained a lot of fans under the reign of Roman Abramovich. I think, would you say that that led to us having a lot of fair weather fans?
Uh, Perhaps, and if I'll use, for instance, Liverpool. If you're a Liverpool fan and you reside in Liverpool, the chances of you being a die-hard Liverpool fan compared to, let's say, a Liverpool fan in, let me think of somewhere, Luxembourg,
Hmm.
or anywhere that's geographically far away, could be Peru, could be New Zealand. I'm picking various places, that doesn't. Okay, so I don't want to imply that just because you live outside of the country or outside of the city that you're any
Hmm.
less of a fan. That sounds, because that's what I just said, and I didn't mean to imply it as such. But
No, I understand totally.
because there are die-hard fans that probably live in the South Pole, you know,
Yep.
living with the penguins, they probably,
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm being facetious, but I believe because it went international, and if you're not, if you didn't grow up with the sport, like if you're an American, I guarantee you, when you're 3 or 4, just like I did with my son, I bought my son a baseball glove. Baseball is a huge deal. It's the pastime. Every country has their own different sport. Does that make sense?
Yeah, every country has
Like
one
India's
sport
is
or the other
cricket.
that's more
Yeah,
like a culture to them.
yeah, exactly. And so I feel because we went international, so to speak. Listen, I'm not saying we didn't have any fan base all around the world prior to Roman, but I think
Mhm.
it's definitely been amplified. And there's a chance, that a lot of these fans didn't grow up with football, so as their number one sport. And so, or maybe they joined Chelsea, maybe in their 30s or 40s, as opposed to, you're weaned off it, once you get off your diapers. So there's that. So yeah, there's probably some truth to that statement. But listen, I think every team in every sport has fair weather fans and diehard fans. So, but it probably did expand and increase the amount of quote unquote fair weather fans. But
Mhm.
which is natural, and that's happened to virtually every team. Like City, I guarantee you there are brand new City fans recently in the last 5+ years that probably never even heard of them prior to Pep taking over. It's just, it's part and parcel of the game. It's nature, I guess.
Yeah. I'm going to come back to asking you whether you're looking forward to the game before we continue the lineup prediction
Sure, I'm
exercise.
going to sit. I'm going to sip
Y-
my cup of tea with honey in it. Thank you
yeah,
very much.
that's how I make my coffee actually. My
Really?
substitute for sugar is, yeah, it's honey. Yeah, my substitute for sugar is honey.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
For like
yeah,
about a decade now.
yeah, and it's good actually. I can actually drink a coffee without even honey in it. I like my coffee plain, no cream, nothing.
But what
Um,
about you? What about juju juice?
no.
Kidding.
So Jesse saying, "Hello Roger, how are you? You
Hola.
sound like you have fired your tea lady." Um,
Yeah, I
I'm
wish I
not
had a
sure how
tea
to look
lady.
at that. Chances are probably Roger's tired. Michi boy is always stressing him. Lots of marathon show, but it's
Yeah,
he loves it. He's a player that never gets injured, even though he plays 2 matches per day. But it's all for the love of the game and the club. So he's enjoying himself. That's all that matters. Giovanni Jafta saying, "Big up, guys. Honestly, I cannot watch Chelsea playing this formation anyway. These days, I am watching and hoping for the best. Really. I think things will fall into place eventually. I've always said my concern is the immediate future, but the long-term future of Chelsea will be is so bright that you need glasses to look at it, so your eyes don't hurt. For sure. It's all. I think it's all clear now that our biggest problem is the immediate future. But Giovanni, nice to see you. Okay, I'm not trying to read that. I don't think that's in English. Um, Obviously not in English. I'm quite suspecting Russia, given this follow-up comment. Big up Kuchila, bless up Roger. Are we digging out the older memories this morning to feel better about our situation? I mean,
You got it.
it helps. You can argue it helps. Sometimes you count your blessings to endure. You can say to endure imminent, you can say endure whatever you're going through. Counting your blessings does help. I think those things remind us that we're Chelsea, and I think we'll get there again. It's been a long season for us overall, but we'll get there. And we did look at because it's the club's birthday. I saw this, and I thought we should look at it. The sanctions on Chelsea, what we weren't allowed to do at the time. Yeah, it was brutal, really. The overall punishment was brutal, in my opinion. We weren't allowed to buy new players. We weren't allowed to agree new contracts, which you could argue led to backlog of contract negotiations at the time, because the club priority at the time was to survive. We weren't allowed to sell new tickets. We weren't allowed to sell shop merchandises. We weren't allowed to sell club. To sell unless Roman Abramovich allows the UK government to take control of the process, and he receives no proceeds from it. Wow, but I don't want to go through that again. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Mine was the job ahead in the UEFA Champions League final. I think two people have mentioned that actually. But big up to you, Bobby, if I haven't said hello to you.
Let's be honest, Bobby Fairview, that's one of the greatest goals. That is a very technically...
You could argue, given the size of the trophy we won at the time, right?
That from a great corner, I think it was from Juan Mata, right? Just an amazing header.
Yep, it was Juan Mata, a corner Bayern considered from trying to stop Fernando Torres when he came on the right flank, I think so. Yeah, I think it was Mata.
Just an amazing corner. What a beautiful flick of the neck. And that's what I talk about Jackson. You know, he doesn't do that. I think we only have Thiago Silva who is capable of executing that kind of header. Just a sublime, gorgeous.
Did Neuer touch it? I think Neuer touched it, but it wasn't. Yeah. It was too hard to stop.
Yeah, listen. When you're that close, it's not easy to. That ball is a rocket, and it was one of the. Listen, had it been in a preseason game, we'd say what a great goal, but let alone in a Champions League final. So yeah, you're right. Great, one of the best goals I've ever seen, especially when you consider
Neuer reached it, but wasn't able to stop it. It was that powerful.
Yeah, right in the top left-hand corner. I mean, it's an amazing goal.
Did he touch the crossbar too? I think he did too.
Yeah, probably. But to me, the reason why I gave the Drogba's penalty kick was because it was the realization we had won it, the eventuality. So, but as goals go, doesn't get any better than that.
That one is up there, right?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with favorite moment is a 3-2 win at Everton in 2006-2007 season. Roger may recall the memories from the day. I can't remember quite game. There are a few other games that I mentioned, but
actually,
I think
sorry, sir. I actually blanked on that one.
Coach, rank the managers from best to worst: Potter, Poch, Lampard, Scolari, Di Matteo, number one, for the reason that other managers you mentioned, then none of them won anything as managers. Scolari didn't win anything. It was all fancy football, giving players the art of war. I think the art of war to read and all that. Di Matteo takes it. He won 2 trophies, right? Didn't he? If you like, argue that it was because he had a very good squad. Who else? Potter, Lampard, Scolari. I'd say second Scolari. The only thing he didn't do was win a trophy. Lampard did good too. Then Lampard number 3. Then the rest.
I would say Lampard second because Scolari was dismissed within his first season. He lasted 6-7 months.
Scolari didn't last beyond the season, more than a season, right?
Right, yeah.
So I think it makes sense. Lampard actually at least took us to a final.
Yeah, and actually got us in top 4.
Qualified us for the next edition of the Champions League, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Lampard second, yeah.
Yeah.
Lampard second. Scolari should be the last, actually. I don't
Yeah,
know.
to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because at least he had a preseason. My client didn't.
Yeah. Scolari should be, yeah. The funniest thing that comes to mind whenever he comes, whenever I remember him, is how he pronounces Chelsea. Him and Ancelotti, I think they pronounce it the same way. But that's, by the way. Let's move on. Kindly go check out Jerry's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. New podcast is posted. As the channel is close to close to be Centurion 100 in total. That's I think that's what he's saying there, which is correct to use the term Centurion. So please go subscribe. Let's help him get there as soon as possible. Jerry, nice to see you in the channel. I hope you're doing well. Giovanni, on the right side, Chelsea being relegated is not being talked about. I don't think we're going to get relegated. I still think Chelsea can play better in the last few games with change in formation. I've talked about the formation enough. The manager, I'm not too sure what structure will be more suitable for us. I think what the only structure that comes to mind would be a 4-3-3 structure with the 3-man midfield. That's when Lavia is back. Lavia playing central, given that he's a more traditional. Again, I think he will fulfill the number 6 role more for us than any other person. Then you can deploy Caicedo on the right and deploy Enzo Fernandez on the left. He played there for River Plate. For Argentina, also in a 4-3-3 structure, he played as one of as the left center midfield. I think he did that for
4-4-2.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes again the application can be application can be what's the language I'm looking for?
I don't see Poch switching to a 4-3-3. I think he's going to stick with the 4-2-3-1. That's his bread and butter.
Yep, we actually knew that before he signed for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Playing 4-5-1. You need a top lone striker, which Chelsea doesn't have. Play 3 up top. Maybe goals will start to happen regularly like it used to. Let's see what happens, Giovanni. Roger, Chelsea could win the Under-18 Premiership League with 3 games in hand to West Ham United. So Chelsea Under-18s Academy are doing better. Okay, you mean, Coach, why are you reading the name of Di Matteo and Lampard along with those rest? Somebody asked a question, and I was trying to answer it. If there are any New York Blues in the chat, they will remember the bar Nevada Smith. Okay, when the bullet header went in, we almost brought down the building. I'm not sure what game you're referencing. If you're a New Yorker and you're in the chat, Bobby, he's just said something that he believes you'll be familiar with. Coach, a question for Roger on that manager list. How many of those were Roger's clients?
Good one.
There's a pattern to the way Roger operates. Every manager is Roger's client, from the perspective that every manager should be given a real chance, a real opportunity, a fair chance maybe to prove that they're the you can say they're the one for you can say that he's the one for the job or not. I don't know how else to phrase it, but Roger, you go ahead if you want to respond to that.
No, I dislike our trigger happy culture that we have at the club. I really do.
And I would want that to change too.
Yeah,
I honestly want that to change.
I want us to see. Listen, I can't remember when's the last time we had a manager over 3 seasons. It's been too long, really has. I looked it up recently. I forgot his name, but it's a long time ago. I mean, in the last 20 plus years, Mourinho lasted 3.5 in his first stint. So no one's lasted longer, I believe, since then. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's a horrible.
I don't think anybody has.
Yeah,
Antonio Conte, 1.5 seasons or 2 seasons. Name them. Even our most successful managers.
It's a horrible statistic, Coach.
Yeah.
It really is. It's not nice. It's let's have a look here. Yeah, it's it is. It's by far. No one comes even close to it. No one's even hit the third year since, Mourinho in 2003. I don't know. This is not a good sign. It really isn't. So
I hope that changes and changes for good. If we get the right manager this time, anytime, or if the Poch is the right man, yeah, give him. You can say, but these days you don't give managers long contract. It's always a three. If we get there, if we like what you're doing, we keep you.
yeah,
And but let's see what happens. Hopefully that culture changes because it will lead to us. You can say dominating for a while. Consistency matters from a managerial perspective, for lack of a better language. There. Let's see. Roger, do you have any words for me to change my stance on Poch? Hats off to you for backing a dead man walking. I think Houston, we have our opinions, and I think right then I would just say him. The term you can say that's just your opinion. We don't know what's going to happen, and you know my opinion on him too. And but the truth is, we don't know what's going to happen. Roger, if you want to respond to that, you go ahead. I want to catch up with what we have so that we can get back to the lineup prediction exercise. I promise my people I'm going to church with them today.
well, who knows? He could be dismissed after the game today. He could,
and he could be here 3-4 seasons. So,
yeah. Listen,
Mhm.
I can't predict the future. The only thing I'm saying is, I'm not saying he's the best coach. I'm not saying he's an elite coach. I'm not saying he will take us to the promised land. All I do know is one thing: he hasn't been given enough time, based on the circumstances with which our season has been encapsulated in, namely a plethora of injuries. A lot of Lavia playing less than one half all season. I could go on and on. It's like we've been decimated, and because of that, I don't believe it would be a fair assessment of him. So that's all I'm saying. He may not be the right man. He may need to go. I'm not denying that. All I'm saying is give him a chance under normal circumstances. When I say normal, meaning don't have a depleted team. I don't think anyone can truly be judged on that. I really don't. That's my honest opinion. I'm not Poch in. I'm not Poch out. I'm neither. I just say let's be fair. That's all.
Which has always been the case. I said,
Has he made mistakes? Yeah. Yes, he has. But has he been unfortunate? Also, most definitely. And by the way, you can see patterns of play. You can see that he has put his players in a position, regardless of who they are, to score. And the amount of chances that we have missed has been, you can't blame it on execution. So when you add all those factors in, I believe I would like to see him start next season based on how far the season has progressed thus far. That's my caveat, right?
Yeah.
We start losing 10-0 every game from now to the end of the season, then I'd have my doubts.
Yep, and Rich Moneymakers is saying, Roger, Chelsea under 21 Academy on 29 points and still in the top 5. So Academy is.
I've been watching our under 21s. I'll be honest with you. When you compare the last couple of seasons with our under 21s to the previous 5 to 7 years, where we went to the Champions League, the Youth Champions League final 3 times, won it twice, won 5 consecutive FA Cups, won multiple Premier League Youth.
As if it was those things were our rights at the time.
Right, exactly. We are nowhere near that. That's why I keep on reiterating. Don't expect this conveyor belt of players from Cobham, youth players like a Reece James, like a John Terry, etc., to come out from there, because it looks like we're not producing hardly anything. When you compare this team across the Youth Premier League, we're 5th, and we don't look that good, to be honest with you. We look bang average. Just to let you know.
Let me finish my tea.
That's a concern, Coach. To me, that's a concern.
Yeah, it is indeed. It is indeed. Which means the issue is different. A lot of people are just, you can say, probably paying attention to what is happening to the senior team and not realizing Yeah, it has trickled down to our academy. Honestly, Poch needs to go because players aren't behind Poch as things are standing. Even Jackson are missing lots of chances. So that's I'm not sure.
No,
You
I
just
beg to
said the final.
differ.
I'll take the final part. Yeah, I wouldn't say the players are actually playing for him, but
Yeah,
that's not. Yeah. If you know my opinion of him, you know where I stand. But the players are playing for him. They're doing well. You can say I don't see anything that comes across to me as if they're not playing for him. I
because
don't
they've
know if
come
you.
from behind. They've come from
Yeah,
behind and they've
exactly.
been playing with gusto against
Yeah,
Leeds, against Brentford. They could have easily capitulated against Brentford. They didn't. They dug
yeah,
in, and their body
yeah.
language doesn't give me that impression.
Yeah, we
Um,
have issues, and I wouldn't go to the extent of saying they're
yeah,
missing chances intentionally. Vic is saying we cannot claim that the players need time, but the manager doesn't. Molaki and somebody comes to mind when he
malarkey.
says that. Yeah, but I'm not
Biden.
gonna. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's his thing. I'm not.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say that. Kyle Walker's comments on 5 Live about Poch's training methods didn't help his case. Yeah, we've had a few players come and say something. So maybe that method isn't working with our players. Then Potter should be handed a chance too. Yeah, same thing, but he's gone. We can bring him back and say we weren't fed to him, so we'll give him time. Because Poch isn't doing any better than him. Yep. At least his playing style was better than Pochettino's. He knew Chelsea's identity, but you could argue the clear difference is that we had players that you could say we didn't make as many changes that we've made under Pochettino under Potter. Correct me if I'm wrong. Changes of players are faking injuries. Nobody's faking injuries here. This is not 1926. If you say you're injured, the doctors will check it, and if they say you're fine, then they will know you're faking it. So I don't agree that anybody's faking injuries. Potter has a league because fans can do anything to make sure, but okay, we'll find out. Let's see. Roger is raising an important issue. The assault on Cobham by the new owners in is criminal. I'm quite sure Roger, even though you are agreeing with them, I'm quite sure he wouldn't want you to take it to the angle I see it going right now.
yeah.
But that's by the way. Roger, are you looking forward to this game? Let's hear you before we continue with the lineup prediction exercise.
Not really, because I don't think we match up well with that team. I
Yeah,
really don't.
they're in a better form. If we're being honest, they're in a better form.
Well,
Yeah, okay, yeah,
there's that factor
yeah.
also, but they're a big,
Mm-hmm.
physical team, and they got some very good players. They
How
really
about they
do.
missing the fact that they're missing 5 of their, let's say at least 4 of their most important players, 3 actually. Callum Wilson is missing, Joe Linton is missing, Kieran Trippier is missing. No need mentioning Sandro Tonelli because he's been suspended for a while now and they've been able to play without him. Yeah, the
Lewis Hall
starting
is injured
goalkeeper.
too.
Who?
Lewis Hall is injured too.
Yeah, he's injured, but I wouldn't count him as an important player for them
No, no,
right
no. I'm
now.
just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, but go
But
ahead.
that's
How about the
but
fact that they're missing? Does that give you hope? For me, if anything, it gets me worried.
I don't know. Listen, but then you look at our injury list, and they have 7, I believe. We have 9. So
Mhm.
I'm looking at our injury people: Chilwell, Badiashile, Carney, Nkunku, Colwell, a certain Mr. Reece James comes to mind, a certain Romeo Lavia, a certain Wesley Fofana. Now ours is more egregious. So I don't want to hear that. Does it give me confidence? I think it affords us a better opportunity to win, no doubt about it. When your opponent is missing key players, it definitely is a detriment to them, and it helps you usually. Usually that's the case. So, but then again, we've got more injuries than them, so more important players. So the advantages, we're playing at the bridge. The disadvantages, we're playing at the bridge because that crowd could turn. we have to score early, I believe. The fans could turn on this club, on these owners, on this manager real quick. You know, if we start to concede multiple goals, especially, we're going to have to play the ball fast, play with purpose, be clinical. And you brought up one important thing: we haven't kept a clean sheet in 8 games. That to me is sacrilegious. This is something that needs to be addressed. I don't know who's available, who's match fit to play 90, especially in the back line. It's going to be interesting to see. We're probably going to have a third string right back and a second or third string, or even fourth string left back. It depends. Listen, this is what happens.
See what they're suggesting here, Roger. They're suggesting that Gusto would be moved to left back. There's a C coming to right back, and we'll have a centre back pairing of Silva and Chalobah. I think Cucurella starts the game. In my opinion, I don't see this happening.
You know what? To be honest with you, I get that formation, the player selection. I get that. It's quite possible. I think it all boils down to is how fit is Cucurella. You know, that's the question. Can he start?
But he's been fit for a while. He's been fit and he's been training with the first team for a while. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but is he? We're not privy to the medical. You know, we're not privy to him. He could be very well fit enough to play 90 minutes. He may not be fit enough to play 20. One doesn't know, coach. Everyone's body and condition is different. So until we find out, you know, is he? It's all pure speculation. You could have Gusto playing on the right and Gilchrist playing on the left. One doesn't know. Could be a back three.
Yeah, we don't know because we've experienced occasions where we think Nkunku was going to start the game and he didn't start, and other players too. So
yeah,
we'll find out. But I will go with he starts tomorrow. That's because it's been up to 2 weeks since he's been training with the first team. That's just my opinion, but you're correct. There's no guarantee that happens because we're not sure how
there's
fit
none.
he is. Yeah,
honestly, that back four, I have no clue. It's pure speculation. It's a toss up because we're not privy to each person's medical condition.
Yeah. Just quickly, good day, coach and crew. Good day to you too. Sami Katalikam, Nigeria. I feel, in my opinion, that the Poch is here on temporary basis, given his pedigree of coaching. I say this because Poch doesn't have any record of a trophy. Okay. Houston, I'm going to say this quickly. Do I think he's the perfect manager, given the fact we have a lot of young players? I'd say yes. I have my opinion, but from a different perspective also. But I don't want to talk about that because, that's not who I am. I've made my opinion clear. And I still believe, as a human, chances are he learns from his mistakes and improves. And I want him to do that because if he starts doing well, my club will do well. Pot training is injuring the players. How can I win? We do that for our members who are students. We haven't done it for a while, but I think we'll do it this month. And if somebody send me a message and ask me when are we going to do the giveaway, then it helps me remember that I promised that we'll do a giveaway. Cucurella will start and play 60 minutes.
Probably.
If Cucurella starts and is injured again, I blame you people. Because we're the manager. And here's another question that's important, which is a sign that chances are he may not start. I don't know. Has Cucurella had any minutes since his injury? That's an important question.
None, as far as I recall.
Yeah, so that's an important question. But at the same time, the manager may feel that making a change and moving to Disasi out again from the central area and playing him in the right back position could lead to issues. So I don't think he would want to change around a lot in the back line.
He's played Disasi there a lot, though, if you recall.
He's played him a lot. Maybe Chalobah plays the right back position. I don't know.
I have no idea, coach. Only Poch knows. And
only him knows. And I don't know. I'm concerned. I'm not too sure. Roger's the one that made me doubt on
because here's the deal. I don't think we have the ability to play with the back three. I really don't. Well, I guess it's possible if Cucurella is able to to play, and you have
Yeah,
Gusto.
Kukurea can play there. He can play
Yeah,
the
I
left
mean,
center back position.
yeah,
But then
but
again, the
that's a
argument
big
is
if,
that he's
right?
not going to start. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's a big if. One doesn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could play Sterling as a wing back on the left side, you know, and Gusto on the right. One doesn't know. I don't even, to be honest with you, I'm not even sure which formation he played, because I didn't see us playing with the back three the last game, if you recall. I just didn't see that happening. So that
You
that
can
was a
argue that it's
curveball.
been everywhere, really.
That was a curveball to me, because with the exception of the first 4 to 5 games of the season, even though Poch has actually said that was a back four, not really. It was a back three most of the time. It really was. I mean, you can call it what it is, you know. But if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a bloody duck, right?
Most definitely.
So
Most
I don't
definitely.
know.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how we set up. I think that back line it's hard to predict, but I think going forward it's a lot easier to predict.
Yeah, if once everybody is fit and we see a pattern, it makes it easier. Then if anybody gets injured, then you'd know and anticipate changes in that particular position. But right now, it's everywhere. We're not too sure whether again, and it looks like he's the sort of manager that one show, if you're just coming back from injury, you don't get straight back into the team. You get a few minutes here and there. That was why when I saw that comment from Bobby, I said, yeah. We don't know. We're not too sure what's going to happen. After listening to the interview done by Cole Palmer, he said he was shocked at how the world talks about them when we lose. He also said that we are trying to improve, and the manager is helping him. Yeah, of course, he has to help him. It's his job. He spent a long period of coaching time at Spurs, but nothing in terms of trophies. Yeah, we know that. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with. You know why I said Poch needs to go? His lineup, okay, shows that he is serious. Okay, let's try and keep the topics aligned, people. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, I will counter these words because we the fans are okay. We haven't seen any improvement in our beloved club. Why will he reject a striker in January? How do you know he rejected one? How are you too sure he rejected one? How about the chances that we didn't have the money to sign one in January, and given the prices being quoted for the players we've heard that were interested in signing. So it's Anthony Gordon to the left wing. It has to be Gusto marking him. If you use a makeshift right back, then we're in serious trouble. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Man United lucky yesterday. Let's see, the CC is better at right back than Chalobah. So yeah, because he's played there at Monaco too. So maybe Gusto goes to left back and Silva comes in. Silva will most definitely comes in, and it makes sense to say Gusto left back. That's because of the pattern. We've seen that Pochettino is not known to bring players into the fold, even when you think you said necessity calls for us to do that. He hardly does that. On the Roman Empire, he won't even consider FFP as far as his club. You think? But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along where I do not get what people are seeing in Gilchrist. He looks small, not technical, and isn't particularly fast. What's the point? I'm not going to judge him. I've not seen enough to say to say he isn't good enough. The fact that John Terry speaks highly of him, and from the little I've seen, I'll give him time. I don't think, in my opinion, I think maybe you've seen him more than I've seen him.
Well, his natural position is centre back, but he's too small.
Yeah, exactly. That's another point too.
He's too small to play in this league as a centre back. He's barely 6 foot, and so if that's the case, then you can be migrated to a different position, like a wing back / fullback. So based on the physical, restrictions, that's why. And so A, he's learning the Premier League. B, he's playing out of position. He's been basically someone that has been a bench warmer and has come out from the bench out of necessity, not that based on his skill sets. It's just we've been that thin. As I said, we've used fourth string on the left back and on the right back on multiple occasions this year. Think about that. We've lost our first three, our first choice 3 starters, and we've had to use a fourth selection to start in each position of the fullbacks. That tells you that's decimation. This isn't out of choice. This is out of necessity. So everything has context.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna judge him right now. I don't think
listen.
I don't.
He
have
could very
enough
well
time
be
to
a
judge
fish
him.
out of
Yeah.
water. It's
Mhm.
appreciate what he is. He's a warm body that's able to come on when required, and he plays with passion, and that's all you can ask for.
And you want that.
Yeah, you would think it'd be a prerequisite.
Yeah, but it isn't. Players, you can say, I don't know what language to use not to come across as if I'm alienating some set of people. But that's by the way, we'll move on from that. So, Roger, do we agree? I think given Mauricio Pochettino, I think he's there's a pattern to the fact that he doesn't involve players without them getting a few minutes here and there. So I'm not too sure. Have we seen any occasion where a player that returned from injury started and didn't finish? Have we seen that happen?
And didn't finish? Yeah, a lot of them.
So chances are it's still the Cucurella.
Yeah.
So let's say, Roger, what's the most likely of the two options? Moving Gusto to left back or going with Cucurella starting and then if need be change things around? Since you agree, there's been occasions where he started players and then not have them finish the game because they just returned from injury.
Yeah, listen, Taylor and Taylor on the left wing is going to be an issue. So Gusto, it would in a perfect world we'd want Gusto to start there to counter that speed and those crosses. But this is all.
Maybe we should go with that logic.
But that's all predicated on the fact that if Cucurella can start. Because if Cucurella can't start, who do we play on the left side? There's no Colwell. There's no Badiashile.
So maybe he'd be forced to start Cucurella.
Yeah. Well, if he can't go, he can't go. You can't force someone to play if they're not fit enough. If they can only give you 15, 20, 25 minutes, he's not going to start him. So it's all predicated on Cucurella's ability to be available. That's what I'm saying. It's impossible to predict because we're not privy to the medical information. If this was the NFL, then we'd be able to guess because they give a far more detailed outlook on each player's injury. In the Premier League, you're lucky if you get a certain part of the body description. That's it.
So you've emphasized the importance of Gusto starting in the right back position, given what you said. So it makes sense. So let's go with this because common sense says that's the most likely thing to do because he needs to be here. His space and everything will be needed on the right hand side, and we don't have.
Did I say Anthony Taylor? I mean Anthony Gordon. What am I saying?
Anthony Gordon, yeah.
Gordon,
yeah. But I understood that was the player you meant at the time.
Yeah,
You're
Gordon.
a human being, Roger.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't know, right?
That's debatable.
So 2 center backs. We have 3 options now. Chalobah, do I think he starts? I don't think so.
I would say
the question would be: do you think Silva comes in?
I think that's a strong possibility, but we're not privy to his medical. I would assume that he's healthy enough to start because he's been.
Let's just go with the assumption that all the players that aren't listed, listed that's injured, they can start. So let's go with that logic.
Then I would say the trusted old pairing would be Disasi and Silva. I think that's a fair assumption because I think to throw Chalobah in there. I think that would be asking too much.
That would be too many changes, you think?
Well, unless it's out of necessity. If Silva can't go, then there's no choice, is there? That's what I'm saying. We're not privy to each player's physical condition. Are they able to start? One doesn't know. I would assume Silva would be, because he does look after himself. But you know, who knows? He is a person that is up there in age. He's
He was
long
on
in
the
the
bench
tooth.
the last game, but didn't get to play, right?
Right. Yeah, that could have been out of precaution, or necessity. One doesn't know. It's really, honestly, it's just purely assumptions at this point.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, not honest, we don't know.
I would
Um,
say that starting back four is a strong possibility, and indeed a strong possibility for the formation. You know, because unless, I mean, we could go with a back five. You know, you could put Chalobah in there. You know, they could. I wouldn't be surprised if indeed Cucurella's able to play, and we do put Chalobah in there and play with a back five. I wouldn't be surprised.
because it
But
looks like he trusts Chalobah.
yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I think it's out of necessity that he's been playing. Look how many people went down. You had Silva went down. You know, you have Badiashile, Colwell. You know, these are what you would call slim pickings. We're really down to the bare bone.
And I'm going to say this, Roger. If I were Poch, but chances are he'd do otherwise. Even if let's say even if Levi Colwell is available, I'd still start this guy here. We don't have the luxury to say, okay, he's not that fit, he's not match fit. Just
Right.
I'd start him. And then if it doesn't work, then I'll
You know
drop
what?
him. Yeah.
Neither, to be honest with you, are the perfect prerequisite choice for a left back. Listen,
Mhm.
Cucurella could all of a sudden cook for us and start being a disciplined, extremely
Start being
effective.
disciplined defensively.
Yeah, I'm talking about defensively, where he doesn't go
Okay, not leaving. You could say
go
a ton of
walkies,
space. Yeah, yeah. I know the issues. Yeah, the usual issues with him. But go ahead.
show up at the right side. You know, there was
Yeah.
a couple of games. Was it last season where he was all over the place, man? I was
Yeah.
like, this isn't Franz Beckenbauer where you're allowed to roam anywhere you want. You haven't. Yeah, it's. Listen, he's been, when he first came back this season, he missed the first 4 or 5 games, however many it was. But then he started to play actually quite disciplined. He looked quite good. But then, just like virtually every other player on the squad this year, they've had their ups and downs. And I don't know what to think of Cucurella. I really don't. He's not the same player that was player of the year for Brighton 2 seasons ago. He's just not. Whether that's...
You can say for multitude of reasons, we've not been great too.
Yeah.
We have a lot of great players that have not. You can say that haven't shown us how good they were before we paid how much we paid for them. I mean,
same with Caicedo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
All of them. Even Enzo haven't reached that level. We know he can be.
Let's be honest with you. I think the only people that have exceeded our expectations is one, Petrovic,
Palmer,
and Monsieur Palmer. Those are the only two, I believe.
I wasn't going to let you mention the two without me taking one.
And also Gusto to a certain extent, because
Gusto has also, he's done well too.
But then again, we didn't know what to expect realistically. Let's put it this way. I think you can safely say that he's just barely exceeded our expectation. People will say he's been very good, he's been excellent, this and that, but defensively he's been really poor lately. In fact, not just lately, he's been guilty of ball watching very often. There's a reason why we're not keeping clean sheets. It's because the man marking especially, has been woeful. Disasi 1 week looks like the best thing since sliced bread, and then the next week,
game,
it looks like he's never played that position before. And listen, this is symptomatic of our team and the age. And most of the players, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of these players, this is their first time in this league. So when you add up everything, put things in perspective.
Yeah, I do agree. Let's give those in the chat the microphone. We'll come back again. Saying Gilchrist is 6 foot. Okay. It's okay. 183. If we lose against Newcastle United, then I'm out. Okay, I hope we don't lose. But nice to see you again once more, Chicas. It's been a minute. Marco Correa height is a 5'8", 173 meters. Too small for center back. Left center back. He's played there before. Guys, who's gonna win, Chelsea or Newcastle? It's difficult to say, really. And I don't know. Maybe Roger has an answer to that question. So me, I don't. I have to be honest. Let's see. Gusto will smoke Gordon. I think he can mark him out of the game. Kukurea, even if Kukurea is on the pitch, except if he leaves spaces in behind. But in terms of 1v1, I think he can mark him very well if he can stay disciplined, as Roger mentioned. Kukurea and Gusto fits our back for better than Rich James and Chilwell. I see James and Chile as wing backs. Both are you can say more traditionally wing backs, but defensively Gusto is proven that he has both ends, offensively and defensively. Has proven that he can be good at in those areas. The Sassi is 6'3", Chalova 6 foot. Is that 6'4"? Silva 5'11" with experience. Yeah. Enzo has been good. I'm not saying again. I didn't say otherwise. I just said he's not there yet. There's more to come from him. Let me just phrase it in a positive way, so you know when we're on the same page. We're just saying a lot of our new signings haven't actually reached the level that we all know they can reach. DJ, so big up to you, DJ. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Thank you so much, Ken. Now, thank you enough. DJ saying, good afternoon. Yeah, my soundboard isn't working. It looks like
Hola,
the
DJ.
Bluetooth game is close by. And Roger is saying, hola. Good afternoon, Kachila, Roger, and everyone in the chat. Smash the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. 30 likes, I appreciate that, because this particular show was rescheduled, I think, 4 times. That may well annoy the algorithm rather than get it to push it, but we're fine. 191 views in the back end and 30 likes, not bad. We can work with that. Let's see what else we have. Big up to you too, DJ. That's Rich Moneymaker saying big up to you. So Roger, the 2 6s we cannot agree. The usual suspect there. Enzo, yeah. We know that. I'm using the wrong keyboard here. Enzo Fernandez there, and here Casado.
Have we had any updates about Gallagher? Because he had I believe, like a stomach bug or words.
Yeah, he's listed as injured.
Is he?
He's not on the list yet.
No, he's not.
I
have a feeling.
I don't think the manager would want to risk it.
It all depends. If Gallagher says, "I'm fine now, I've recovered." Listen, this was about what? I'm trying to think how many days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, that he was listed with a stomach bug. He could very well start today because he's that type of person that will play regardless. He's a bit of a warrior. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts, but it all depends on, is he hydrated enough? Is he match fit? You know, because usually, you know, when you get a bug and what have you, no matter, even if you're excuse me, a finely tuned athlete, it can take something out of your body. So it all depends on how he's recuperated. If he has recuperated well enough, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts. He's been quite durable this season.
I wouldn't either. And more importantly, I'd have to say, down to the fact that he is the manager's most important player.
I wouldn't go that far. So was the goalkeeper coach. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm saying the most important player in terms of we can do without Petrovic, but a guy like what he brings is very unique. He has no substitute, if we're being honest.
I think Enzo is, to be honest with you. When we don't have Enzo, I think we're a completely different team, tempo-wise especially.
Here's why, or the ability to control the game, to dictate the pace of the game. And Enzo makes us, again, he's the engine in terms of the midfield.
Yeah,
he connects
really
the
is.
defense and the attack. But
I think you're right. And Gallagher
go ahead.
is the engine without the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I get it.
His industry and everything. I think for me, nobody else can do that. We can remove Enzo and still play, but probably not as good. But if Gallagher isn't playing, it's usually a huge problem, especially the manager's preferred approach to football. We fought quite whether anybody likes it or not. And I don't want to get to explain myself as to why I think that's the case. Go ahead.
Also, he's been playing much better. He's actually improved as the season has progressed.
He's showing that there's more to his game than just running around.
Yeah, listen, he's now adding goals to his armory. He's scored in important games, important times. So, but it's also
more confident on the ball.
Yeah, but it's not just his pressing, but it's also his tackling. He's been excellent at tackling. His stats are pretty high when you consider, because there are some teams that press from the beginning, from higher up the pitch, like a Liverpool, and that's what we tend to do. That's our MO. He's important to a certain extent, but if I had to pick which one I would choose, I would say realistically, all joking aside, it's Enzo because what he brings to the team.
We understand that, which was right. That was at one point we did discuss what we're going to do when he's not playing, but the manager has proven he doesn't mind taking him off and playing someone else there. I'm just saying
we're different though. Can you not notice that we're?
Oh yeah, very clear. We knew that before. I'm just saying from the manager's perspective. If you ask me, I'm not the manager, but given what I've seen and the fact that Gallagher is irreplaceable, we can remove Enzo and what's his name, Palmer can play deeper and still help us control the tempo of the game. That's my opinion, but I understand where you're coming from. Enzo is very important. He's very unique also. But we have other players. Yeah, a quarterback for another language there, in my opinion. Let's see. Just saying hello to Rich Money Makers there. Let's see. Nervous about the game and thanks for the legend title. I don't want us to sign Ramsdale. We needed to keep away from him. Ramsdale, look at the mistake. Yes, I'm not going to judge a player for one single mistake. He made some good saves too. That if it weren't for good saves,
coach, I've watched a lot of him. For instance, when he plays for England, I don't want him for Chelsea. No way. Listen, he does certain things. He does really well.
He makes a lot of mistakes. Is that what you're saying?
He's another Sanchez in so many ways, but a better shot stopper. He dominates the box more, but with his feet, he's wobbly. Very wobbly. If you like that kind of heart attack during the game, go for it. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't want to sleep with it either. Nemanja thinks we're going to struggle if Gallagher isn't playing. No, coach, he is not. He actually loses the ball more often now, and it's the cause of our disbalance in the team. I will go on to say if Gallagher starts, we will lose that game. Okay, I will remember that. I think Houston, I'm telling you, it just seems as if Gallagher isn't playing, the manager doesn't know how else to approach the game, in my opinion. I've told you why I think that's the case. That's not me saying he's the best player of Chelsea, but give him credit. He's been one of our best players since the start of the season. Will tell you that if we're being truthful to ourselves, numbers also tell you that. He's created one of those.
Reinforces it.
Yeah, exactly. Reinforces what eye test shows. He's won the ball quite a lot for us. He's created a lot of chances for us.
I don't want to hear to say that his first touch is poor. It's not. So I listened to your show. I think it was Jerry's show. Sorry, Jerry Z show, whoever it was. And I'm sorry, I've watched Chelsea games at the very least twice this season, each and every one. I've seen him lose the ball. I've seen him turn on the ball beautifully with both feet. I've seen him be.
He's more confident on the ball than he was last season.
Oh yeah, you can't compare. They're night and day, chalk and cheese. And yet, for instance, Carlito thinks the world of Gusto, but then have a look at that final and the subsequent games since then. He literally lost the ball out of bounds 4 times, 3 times in the cup final. So I haven't seen Gallagher do that, and yet Gallagher is quoted as being inept, as being lacking technical ability with his first touch and second touch and third touch. That's having an agenda. That's not the case. Maybe last year you could say that. I'm sorry, he doesn't do that. And I'm
just going to say this.
I watched the game with multiple times with an open mind, not with an agenda, not with a narrative. And what people are saying about him, I'm sorry, factually, that is not the case. Factually.
I'm just going to say this.
It's that simple. Is he Messi?
Yeah,
No, but is he as bad as certain people
a
are
lot of
making
people
out?
are making out to
It
be. I
is
don't think so.
absolutely. I'm sorry, that's inaccurate. It's not factual, and it's disingenuous. To
an extent, I agree. And here's the thing, I'm going to say this. I think people don't know there's a thin line between critiquing a player, between just abusing a player, in my opinion. And I'm just talking about Gallagher's case. I think to an extent, people are just abusing him unnecessarily, not respecting,
I don't know
not
whether,
respecting how committed he is to. You can say to how well we're doing, not respecting the fact that he's been one of our best players since this season, and he has more. If anything, I don't know if anybody has eclipsed him as being our top chance creator. He's created more chances. Maybe he's second now, and probably to Cole Palmer. But sometimes it can be painful to listen to people just, you can say all sorts of nonsense about him, even if you don't like a player. I don't think it's okay to take it to an extent where it becomes an abuse, in my opinion. Yeah, go ahead.
I wouldn't say the term abusing. I would say slandering, like being slanderous.
Slandering, maybe from on some occasions, yeah.
Yeah, I would say certain people are slandering him. I think that the term abuse can be taken out of context. I would say that there's been a tremendous amount of unwarranted slander, but for him, which I think is unjustified and unwarranted. Everyone can have an opinion on someone, but when you actually look at a person and they don't lose the ball, like you're saying, and the first touch isn't poor, like everyone says, then guess what? That's disingenuous. It's that simple.
That the fairy tales are going over the top again. not towards the reality.
Yeah, this is my interpretation, because I've seen his first touch be sublime on occasion.
Yeah, on occasions, a couple of times.
Yeah, listen, he turns with the ball with both feet. You have a look at some of the goals.
3-4 times.
Okay, a little bit more than that, I would say, but he's not as good as some people think he is, and he's definitely not as bad as some people think he is.
He might be very good in training, but in games, he has been causing us problems.
I respectfully disagree.
Right.
Listen, is he perfect? No, he's not. But I'm not a proponent of his per se.
I think there is more slander and over the top given by Gallagher supporters than people who criticize, and those who criticize actually try to argument this with football reasons.
I beg to differ.
All right, let's see how I'd like us to move on to the lineup prediction exercise and get it done. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I think the Gallagher is finished this topic with that he actually is the cause of a midfield imbalance more often than balance. He's good when we are pressing. We need to press, and that is when we are playing like Manchester City or Arsenal. But in other games, bar a few good goals he has been scoring, and lately he has been, and a lot of passion he brings. In terms of football, I mean, believe me, the team is together. Everybody stands for each other. But if Gallagher is removed, this team has the potential to play better. Going further into that, if we bench Gallagher, we do not have enough numbers in the midfield right now. But on that second point, again, I would say is why did they bring back Cassidy is a mystery to me.
Right, I have to say, also, I think you and I can agree. It's looking like bringing. You can say it was a bad idea to bring back Cassidy from Leicester City, where he was playing week in, week out, especially after the injury. After indeed he suffered, I think, a knee injury, or I can't quite remember. But I appreciate you for your contribution, for finding the time to join and stay. You can say, have us hear your opinion. But we have to move on. We should play Cesare Casadei 6'1", and he could replace Gallagher. He has the physicality for this league. One thing I have to say in terms of, I don't compare him with Gallagher. I think it's different. Gallagher more industry, obviously. But I don't want to go into details of how I think they differ. Sometimes I need to do a bit of more research. I haven't seen enough of Cesare Cassadei also, but I know he's a good player. Yeah, we just move on. I don't want the Carragher argument again. He gave the ball away to Brentford. I can also start mentioning to you on occasions where, I think one game he came on and helped us win the game. There was one game he scored 2 goals. I can't quite remember. So nobody's perfect. I'm not saying he's the perfect player, but I'm just saying sometimes people. I'm not blaming anybody in particular. People sometimes, you could say, to an extent where it becomes a slander, and that's not okay. And there's a thin line between critiquing the player and slandering the player. That is why you can say, I'm going to say this. Carlito is my friend, but I'd say he slanders Gallagher. In my opinion, he could say his criticism of Gallagher has gone beyond being just criticism, but a slander, in my opinion. Yeah, let's keep going. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding time to join the show. Roger, I'm sorry, but fans are judging Gallagher as a 10 in Poch's system. That I do that too. I do judge him as a 10. I do say I think we need a player with more ability to play in that 10 role for us. I've told people, if you bring up the argument that, but he's created this many chances and all that, I usually tell you, if we play a more traditional 10 there, if Gallagher has 10 assists, the more traditional 10 will have 20, 30 assists.
He's not a 10.
He's not a 10. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, which means the argument takes us back to the manager. Why is he playing him in that position? We should be asking that question.
While we missed this point, Coach, a question for both of you. So Gallagher is not a 10, good enough for a 10. He's not a right winger. We have better in Palmer.
He's a number 8.
He's a number 8. So how do you define number 8? Who's running the game?
If you play a 4-3-3, he can play the RCM right center midfield.
Yeah, so he can.
Which is an 8. Yeah, and he can fulfill that role very well.
Wait, so he's an 8. 8 years, Coach. Just sorry, I missed it. But 8 is probably more controlling the game, right? Up and down, moving the game. So
it depends on the structure.
Yes. So is he better than Caicedo in that role or Enzo in that role?
I really don't want to argue that. They're two different. Listen.
So listen. An 8 is generally, like, for instance, in a 4-3-3. Okay, like Lampard in the old days. Whether it's a right midfield or a left wing midfield, those are traditionally in that formation. For instance, number 8s, right? Yes. We are not playing 4-3-3. Right, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. They're playing a 4-2-3-1 predominantly that morphs into a 4-4-2. So we've got players. We don't have the luxury. Look how many people.
Okay, let's go one point by one point. One point by one point. I'm trying to figure out, and you are helping me in that. Yes. So let's go step by step, so that we do not overshoot it. So we are playing 4-2-3-1. And he's playing mostly as number 10, you say. And you are saying he's not the best number 10.
No, he's not.
When I say, now my next step is, when I say he's the cause of our problem, bringing the disbalance to the team. Am I right?
That's what you say, but I don't agree with it.
But did the sequence of questions which you answered, didn't it prove this point?
No, not at all. You can think what
I don't agree with that one either, but I know we can do better than him playing in the 10 role.
We don't have that luxury.
He's causing disbalance in our team. No.
Listen, we don't have that luxury.
Because the application is different.
No, Coach. Now you're bringing the argument that he is like he's the best out of the rest. I'm talking about him only. Let's forget about the rest for the moment.
Can I just say something? Look, this is our midfield. They're virtually all number 8s. Caicedo, Cassadei, Chukwuemeka, Fernandez, Gallagher, Lavia. Only Leslie is a number 6. I mean, 10s. Carney's not a number 10, really. He's a number 8.
A number 6.
Caicedo is not a number 10. He's a number 8. Enzo is not a 6 or a 10. He's a number 8. He can play it, but I'm just saying he isn't. Gallagher isn't. Lavia is a number 8. So
all of them are playing out.
We have too many square pegs in round holes.
So, and all of them are playing out of position. Is that so?
For
Please,
the
we need
most
to
part,
move on from
by
this. Honestly,
definition,
we have it's something to do, and I have to go.
And
So
we
we're
are
go ahead
building
with it.
around Gallagher.
no, we're building around Enzo.
No, we are not. Enzo is being pushed to the left wing most of the time.
He's a
He's
double
not even in the
pivot.
middle of the pitch.
Well, by definition, the middle third, however you want to term it.
Yeah, but look at the heat map and look at the games. He's most of the time at the left wing or hovering around together with somebody there. That's what the instructions from the coach says. So we are building around Gallagher, which the coach also says. And is he the best out of all those you mentioned? No.
Well, we've seen Enzo play up top, and he was very ineffectual. So,
can you remind me some games?
I don't think there's so much the manager is able to do differently. And I want us to move on to that. Let's get on to the lineup building exercise. I understand JC's views, and I think to an extent I agree with him.
37 games.
He's not the best we can do in the 10 role,
I'm
but
not
the manager feels like that's why he fits well in his approach. If any question should be asked, it should be of the manager. Why is he playing him as a 10? There are other positions that I think if he plays there, he'll play well for us. But go ahead, just let's hear you. Let's move on from this, please.
For this game, as I say, like Gallagher is sick, so I doubt he starts. And Cucurella was on bench, so he should start. Although I'm not sure whether Poch will start this. Him and I mean, considering Pochettino, who is more like defensive all the time, save the point, like not lose, he might end up with Gusto as left back and Chalobah as right back. But to be honest, if you want me, my opinion, which team I would like to see back for, it should be Cucurella, Chalobah, Disasi, and Gusto. And if it's back three, then add Silva.
That's a chance. That's a chance. We'll see this back four.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
It all depends, like how fit is Cucurella. We do not know. No, and
we honestly do not know.
And if you look at the past few games, Poch has made a certain little bit of adjustment. He always he when he is attacking, he always likes to attack from only one, like one of the left back or the right back. He has up all the time. Initially in the game season, it was like that, and then it was like he changed. There were a lot of criticism why is left wing like Chilwell and all that stuff. Right now, what he's doing is either Palmer stays a little bit back, or on the other side, Chilwell is a little bit up. It's more like a 4-3-3. And the two midfielders and the one of the left, either Chilwell is moving a bit, staying up a little bit, or Palmer is staying a little bit behind, and Enzo is at the left wing or somewhere hovering around.
And predominantly a 4-1-4-1, where you see that Caicedo is isolated. Isolated, and you have Enzo playing way up front. It looks like a 4-1-4-1. So in transition,
Our problem starts when there is a big gap between our attack and the defense.
Yes, and you have to understand.
And any team which starts to press and is willing to work hard in certain phases of the game and push our back line, we struggle, we become slow, and we go sideways.
And you talk about imbalance. You talk about imbalance. Enzo doesn't have the speed or physicality. So in transition, he is the culprit.
Roger, let me please. Yeah? Okay, so the issue here is that a certain midfielder has to know when to drop back and when to go up.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to read the game very well in such games, what phase of the game we are, when the opposition is pressing us, or when we are like they are in a back like double block and we just have to create and we are already on top of that. And that midfielder has to have a very good reading of the game. So that's why I'm saying is we would be probably lucky not to have that midfielder on the pitch tomorrow. But the other concern is that we do not have anybody else as well. And if he is there, and if he reads the game well for once,
who is he?
Gallagher.
Okay.
And if he reads the game well, which I doubt, then we are fine, because the game is not always like in rigid shapes. It's a dynamic game.
Yes, it
You have
is.
to study it. And
You've dropped
our
quite a bit.
midfield has struggled. We have left
Jesus
Enzo
Christ.
up. We have left Gallagher up, and we have seen Caicedo being hanged by 4 midfielders of opponents. When the opponents decide we have to press, when they are behind or when they are looking for a goal.
Dude, let me drop a little bit, please, because remember one aspect: Gallagher is more forward by definition and nature in the midfield. And you know what? Enzo's supposed to be parallel as a double pivot. But guess what? When he goes forward and we look like a 4-1-4-1, the Enzo is the actual, shall we say, weakest point in the link because of the fact he doesn't have the speed to get back. He is a defensive liability. That's not his fault. That's because he doesn't have the upper body strength. He doesn't have the height. He doesn't have.
No, it's not because of his body strength. It's because of what the manager is telling him to do.
Talk.
You came inside. I was talking. Why are you invading my?
Well, you know what, mate? You're disingenuous because you know what?
Roger, let me finish then. Let me finish then. And
let
then
me know when you're finished, okay? And I'll mute.
I understand you passionately. You're passionate about.
Right, please, if you want to speak, otherwise we're going to move on to the prediction we're doing. Go ahead, Jerry. I'll let you guys slug it out, but drop. Let's hear Roger. Go ahead, Jerry.
If the gentleman is not able to listen to any criticism.
No, you got verbal diarrhea, mate.
Then it's not the slander coming from the people on Gallagher. I mean, the people who support Gallagher have to start accepting the criticism as well. Gallagher has not been our best player this season.
Just make your point. Make your point so
that
I don't feel like. I want us to move on.
The people who are passionate about Gallagher, they don't want to listen, and they think the others are crazy and negative, and they don't want to. That's slander.
May I speak now? Have you dropped?
Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
Here's the deal. By definition, Gallagher plays further upfield. However, you'll see that Enzo plays on occasion and quite often he plays further or at least equally as high up the field. And when there is a transition, Enzo doesn't have the acceleration, doesn't have the speed by definition, initial and latter acceleration to get back to defend. Therefore, by definition, he is an actual person that is a culprit in transition. I can give you an example. The first game of the season, you look at Gallagher. What does he do? He makes a last-ditch tackle from behind against Mohamed Salah, who is renowned for his pace. He's able to do that. So,
okay. Now can I come?
No. I let you drop. No, I'm talking.
Jesse, please. Once Roger is
you
done,
see, this is what you do.
Yeah,
you have verbal diarrhea,
and then finish your point.
You have verbal diarrhea, and yet you castrate me. You castrate me for interfering. Yet you do the same thing in the English language. That is called hypocrisy.
Roger, go ahead. Just drop.
That's called hypocrisy.
Roger, go ahead. Go ahead. Can you please let him drop? He'll let you finish.
So by definition, I see Enzo as more of a liability, especially defensively, because of that. And so to actually espouse the fact that Gallagher, listen, I don't get to the point where I state that he is our best player or he is the second coming, or excuse me, second coming of anybody. I'm not saying he's our greatest player. What I am refuting is the fact that the criticism that has befalled him is not warranted as such. That's all I'm saying. So if you can understand my English, then you would know that I'm actually not praising him. That is not warranted.
Are we questioning English language? Land your point, Roger. Don't question other people's English.
No, I'm saying understand exactly what I'm saying with my phrases, with my specific choice of words. I am saying it deliberately. Okay, so what I'm saying is I am not praising him that is in a sense that is not warranted. I am basically defending him from people that are stating he has a very poor first touch, second touch, third touch, that he is the person that, how did you term it? That is the imbalance in midfield, or I'm paraphrasing that. When in actuality, that is not the case. Is he a number 10? No, he's not. I never said he was.
Your point.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm refuting what you stated. And I've watched the game, most games, 2 to 3 times. And so I do not see it. I look at the game with open mind and critique him when warranted. No doubt about it. No doubt
Roger, I
about
will
it.
finish my arguments. I will forget
No,
my
please,
arguments.
we have to
When
move
the
on
game
from
We're
this.
begins.
No,
going
no,
to
no, no.
agree to
Listen,
disagree.
listen. We have to move on from this. Jesse, you have spoken, and he has
No, I
responded.
have not
That's
spoken
not
because
we're here to
he
argue.
landed a point. Let me just simply say where the argument is wrong, totally wrong. His
No, we're not
argument is
doing
like
that. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Please,
no,
I have to
no.
go
He
to
says
George first.
Enzo has been bad, and Enzo is like like what was the word, trash or what? I can't remember it. But because Enzo cannot track back fast enough, because look, the manager plays the players where they want to play. Enzo is not a left winger, and better midfield balance and better control of the midfield we have had when Enzo and Caicedo are playing together and running the midfield. Whenever you put Gallagher in the middle of it, it's not working.
All right, let's move on from this, please. Let's move on. And Bobby Fairview saying Gallagher has been playing the 8 role all season. You could argue that because we start with the structure 4-3-3. He's often positioned in the number 10 position, but the application is different. I've seen that. What is this 10 argument? Because in some cases, yeah, he plays at the 10 role too. Because the Chelsea app puts him there in the formation doesn't mean, yeah, we agree. Application differs in most cases, and in most cases too, yeah, he's there. He's playing as a number in the 10 role. Coach, I don't even argue with Gallagher again. I just blame Poch. Like I said, if we feel like, yeah, he's not he shouldn't be playing the 10 role, then we should be the manager. The question should be directed at the manager. In my opinion, Poch has put Gallagher in a position where he gets hated. You could argue that too, and that's actually a solid argument. My second fondest memory being the match. Okay, was our first Champions League final in 2012. The king himself and legend Didier Drogba scoring the equalizing goal and also dispatching the penalty that helped us win it. I think that's a good one. Roger is making a very valid point about the midfielders. Poch will get sacked. Okay, Nemanja keep it aligned. Enzo it's not anything. I think it's good, but I understand Roger's point. I wouldn't go to
You
the
know what,
extent of
coach?
saying
Actually,
it's
when they say like the slander at Gallagher, and what I've noticed is a lot of Gallagher supporters are putting slander on Caicedo and Enzo just to justify something. I do not understand what.
It's not a matter of deflection at all. I'm just stating you brought up the
No,
subject
I'm
of
not
imbalance.
pointing at you finger. I'm not pointing finger at you, Roger. I'm just saying in general. I mean, and the fan base is divided.
That to me, I'm not bothered whether the fan base is united or divided. It's irrelevant.
Yes, then I'm going to
Yeah,
say this. I think something Jesse said now that's correct. If you see any Chelsea fan that doesn't like that is slandering, Angel Fernandez, 90% chances are he prefers Gallagher over Fernandez. So I think he prefers Gallagher over Enzo Fernandez. And if you see any, in some cases, some Chelsea fans that like Enzo so much, if he makes a mistake, they'll tell you Gallagher is the reason why he's not being as effective as he should be. But here's the thing, they're both good players, in my opinion. Let's move on from that, really. We have our
and
opinions of each of the
eventually it
players.
is the coach who has to decide the best formation which suits him, and whatever
It's as
he's
simple
playing,
as that.
it's
It's up
not
to the
working.
manager. Yeah, which was
Yeah,
why I
and the
said if I
manager
don't
is
like it,
yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
It's his job. It's not us who decided, and
Yeah,
eventually
we
he
know that.
goes by the results.
But when it doesn't work, we ask questions. Why is he doing it continuously? If we feel like it doesn't work, but let's move on from that, please. Just responding to Bobby there. Enzo is quality. I agree with you, and so is Casado. They just need experience with them in the midfield, which our owners gutted out. Wow. DJ is some sort of aligned with Mineral CFC in that aspect. That's by the way, Gallagher is not in the squad tomorrow. I haven't seen that anyway. He's not listed as injured, but chances are he's not going to play tomorrow, most likely. I don't know. But down to the injury, not because he's bad or anything. Potts said he's sick. So I'm seeing, I don't know whether we don't know. We're just going to pick a lineup and then see what happens tomorrow. Kukurea isn't good defensively, but what do we What do we do since Colwell, who has been a party's favorite, is injured? I would even prefer Badiashile if he was consistent, but he's not fully fit. Enzo lets Casado down every minute. You see, it depends on who you ask. Enzo has been excellent for me, in my opinion, although he hasn't reached the height that I believe he can reach. Both actually, him and Casado, they both are done well. In my opinion, we have issues, and that I find it difficult in most cases to start you can say isolating any players or performance. That's because we as a team, I don't think it'd be fair to start pointing fingers at players saying that the reason why this has happened or the other has happened, given that overall as a team we've been awful. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Why the argument about Conor Gallagher? Yeah, it happens every time that comes up. Gallagher brings a balance to our midfield and not the other way around. You think, okay, the other two are slow and short. So I'd like to go with they complement each other, honestly. And I have to agree, Enzo Fernandez sometimes, I agree with Roger to an extent. Sometimes he can be defensive liability, depends on the structure. But with the 4-3-3, Enzo actually does a lot better in terms of supporting the defense.
Coach, I honestly, I'm not saying they can't, but I do have my doubts about both Caicedo and Enzo being the right player profile for a double pivot in this league. I think in other leagues,
we need to mix it up a bit. I do agree with that.
I just listen. We are outmanned. That the height is a big factor. You saw that when we played United with what's his name, the Scottish midfielder. He even towered Gallagher. He's 6'4". He's like he was 6 inches taller than Enzo and Caicedo. There was a disparity in height there. You can't compete.
Who was it that said with the shortest team?
Second shortest. The shortest is Brighton.
Which team is the shortest?
Brighton.
Yeah. Wow.
And we bought several players from Brighton. What does that tell you?
That's seriously.
Exactly.
It's reflective of where we shop.
If we played in Spain or Italy, these two could shine, because I look at us as a finesse team for the most part, but we're playing in a very physical league. And so I think I'm not convinced. I'm not saying they can't, but as of yet, I'm not convinced that we can continue to be successful playing in this formation with these two.
Roger, by that definition,
double
the
pivots.
Team which won the treble should be hugely physical.
No, not necessarily, because one is Europe, So as I said,
the team which won the treble is Manchester City.
Right, and one of the trebles was what? Was a European Cup. We're talking
they have more balance.
But in UK, in England, they have been hugely successful. It's not down to physicality.
Right, so bringing the treble, it's irrelevant. At least 1/3 of that is in Europe. I'm talking about the Premier League.
The point was brought in was like it's a very successful team, and also in UK. And if you look at the last few Premier League,
and look at Rodri and Stones.
I mean, it's like what kind of what I'm trying to argument going to put forward here is the height is important, but is not the majority thing even in England.
I said, well,
and saying that Caicedo and Enzo are not high enough, not physical enough. I'll tell you, Enzo is more physical than Jorginho or Kovacic, and saying that they are useless players because of that.
I never said useless, so you need to stop doing that. You have a preponderance of that. So if you look at Rodri and Stones, they are vastly bigger than.
But you just proved my point, Roger. It's like we really need to move on. I mean, it's the Gallagher fans who keeps on pointing to the negatives of one side, and other players keep on pointing negatives to the other side. We really need to move on from that.
How long have you been watching the Premier League? How long have you been watching the Premier League, mate? How long?
Listen,
how long?
I understand you are retired, maybe, and that does not give you the how to say
answer the
minerals or whatever you are trying.
All right, we have to move on. We have to move on, guys. We have to move on.
I have been watching football,
and Sammy, we have to move on.
and one does not make better than another one because you have been watching maybe a few years more than me.
A few.
Roger, let's just move
go in
on.
that
I think
direction,
JC,
Roger.
I think JC, you're taking the argument where it shouldn't go. I
I've
have to
been
be honest.
watching
But
with you.
he is
since
taking
the
it.
early
Coach, I mean,
70s.
why is he asking how many years? What
It
does
doesn't
it matter?
matter. You just tell him if you don't want to
Because-
respond, you tell him you don't want to respond.
because I'll
I
tell you
understand
why.
you are, Roger. Let's move on. Huh? I
Because
propose.
let's
Let's
move
move
on,
this
please. Let's
argument.
move on.
Don't
Okay,
bring
let
back
me just
again
say
this
let me
argument.
just say this. Let me just say this. I've been watching it since the early 70s, and the first division, which when it was called that until 92, / the Premier League,
Congratulations.
has always been a very physical league, much more than mainland Europe. So it's this DNA. This is its modus
Congratulations. I
operandi.
understand that. I
Okay,
understand
so-
that. We are talking about this game which is coming.
All right,
Right.
let's move on. Let's move
I'm
on,
just
please. Let's
saying,
move
I
on.
understand the identity and the DNA of this league.
That does not mean that history does not mean that Enzo and Caicedo are useless for
Please,
never
can we
said
stop this
that.
back
Let's
and
move
forth?
on.
All right. Let's continue with the lineup
Dude,
prediction
you're a
exercise,
wanker.
please. Let's continue with the lineup prediction. We're not kids, man. We're bigger than this. And Chelsea, Blue is saying, Roger, let's all share love. And this is what Poch is causing. Keep that energy for Poch. He's with Gallagher in that position. We move on from that. Really, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Let's see, Coach. Let's be honest. Gallagher knows he's not a 10. Poch plays him there anyway. Which was why I said if we have a problem with that, then we should direct our questions to the manager or at the manager. It's as simple as that. I swear, I saw West Ham as the shortest team than us. But we're using official. You can say somebody took their time to find out the shortest team in the league, and we're the second shortest. Brighton the shortest. Let's see what else we have. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. What a coincidence that we are the same height as Brighton. We are the shortest and the youngest, but people are talking for the project. Heston, it's reflective of where we shop. It's at the same thing. It's like having the level at the neck of your shirt. Today, I learned a new thing. The team with the shortest players is Brighton, but Cuckoo is tall. Some can say that. No, he didn't say that. He was meant with reference to City. Guys are getting personal. Move on. Yeah, exactly. That was what I said. Let's
By the
move
way,
on.
we're at the bottom of the Premier League for conceding one of the bottom teams, I should say, for
goals
conceding
conceded.
For goals conceded airily. We're one of the worst. So, so there is a correlation, by the way.
There is indeed, and it makes sense. They use the word. Yep, he did. Moses Casado 5'10", Enzo 5'10". Gallagher might play against Newcastle United if he's fully fit. I don't know what sort of illness he had. Let's go to the let's go to the 3 and behind the striker. I'd say I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but Roger, let's hear you. But I'm not even sure who starts where.
I don't know. I mean,
just give it a shot.
Okay, so it's hard to say. I would assume that Gallagher would start if he's fit, but we don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Mudryk does indeed go there behind the number 9. It's going to be fluid, right?
I think he could.
It's going to be fluid. It all depends. I mean, Palmer is probably going to play outright, but he could play Madueke outright and Palmer behind the number 9. It's so hard. There's many permutations. You could even have Sterling play there. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you think Madueke starts this game?
Nkunku is again injured, right?
Yeah, he's still out. Yeah, Nkunku is still out.
Is he still out? Jeez,
so Louise. I'd say Sterling. I think the manager probably wouldn't give Sterling a chance. So let's say Palmer here. We're just assuming Gallagher is sick, because if Gallagher is fit to play, he plays.
Is Nkunku out because he's not listed on the injured?
Yeah, he's out. He's out. He'll be mid-March. Even if he's ready, I don't think he plays this game.
He's
so
not
let's
listed.
see Mudryk here. I think Mudryk might get a chance. I think he's been he's shown that I don't think he trusts Raheem Sterling that much anymore. That's my opinion anyway. But we'll find out. On occasions he's dropped him and taken him off when he thinks probably he feels he should be on the pitch. But let's hear you.
Really, there
Yeah.
are only 5 players for those 4 positions available, right?
Mhm.
I think
So Jackson
Sterling
most
is the other
definitely
one.
would take up the number 9 position. Go ahead with what you were saying.
I'm just asking, like, other than these 4, we have only Sterling who plays forward is available.
Yeah, and possibly Gallagher. I don't know whether he's recovered from his tummy bug or not. I have no idea.
Yeah.
We're not privy to this medical information.
But yeah. But I personally don't think like both Mudryk and Madueke start. One of them will be on bench.
Possibly.
And Sterling
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah, I think there's a strong possibility Sterling probably starts. Probably. I don't know. Who knows?
Poor Mudryk.
No, you can't say that, no, coach, anymore.
Poor Mudryk,
You know,
because he drops him easily. He drops him like this. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
coach,
how bad the Sterling have played.
but
But
to be
of late,
fair,
he
coach,
hasn't done that. But go ahead, JC.
to be fair, I've been like really hoping, and I really like the guy, like he succeeds and all that. But to be fair, I mean, if you judge by the game-changing goals and all those contributions, Sterling has been better.
Mm. Let's see.
And,
I think we might
and
have to use
although
the poll
he's
to
not
decide. Go
getting
ahead.
so many, although he's not getting so many chances in regularity, as we all argue, but now is the time when you do get your chance, you deliver.
It's hard to
So
say.
so I am little
Actually,
bit now
the last,
double-minded.
yeah, go ahead.
So I'm a little bit like thinking I'm sort of losing faith at the moment. Maybe next season something changes, or the manager changes, or
Would you
Deserby, or
rather him
somebody.
or Sterling?
Yeah, because that's more it's difficult choice. Sterling has not been also putting the pitch on fire as well.
He did earlier in the season. He was outstanding, but now he's so inconsistent. You don't know who's showing up. You don't know which Sterling's showing up. The one against Man City or the one against Liverpool? Which one is it? I have no idea.
But Roger, you would agree, like when I say, like in the first half of the season, Sterling used to perform in 1 game out of 6 or 7, as Dante put it. But now it is like 1 in 3 or 2 in 3 or 2 in 4, 1 in 3, something like that.
Actually,
It depends on who you ask, really.
Actually, I thought the first third of the season he was more consistent. I've looked at him lately, the last third of the season, as being less consistent, more inconsistent.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, just 1 second. Did Jesse say that? No, he didn't say that. I think we've addressed that. Where were we? I was somewhere here. We've read that one too. I'm not a Gallagher fan. I actually, okay, support Enzo and Caicedo, but we need height in our midfield. Most EPL teams play physical ball in the midfield. That is why Arsenal bought Rice. You could argue that, and Rice is actually playing in a more advanced role than him. Rice, as much as I don't like him, and Arsenal, he fits the perfect English midfielder you need. A lot of people, Chelsea fans, didn't want him at the time. We do not have the correct squad balance. We do not have the correct squad balance. That's why we keep Ugochukwu and loan Santos. Pochettino has said Ugochukwu would head out on loan. He has said that. Okay. When he did say he was going to leave on loan when we signed him. BRZ, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. And Kunku is out for 4 to 5 weeks.
I meant Madueke. Sorry, I meant Madueke.
Okay. I haven't been here since a long time. I recognize that too. I hope you've been okay. I hope the reason is that you've been busy and nothing has happened on your end. Mykhailo Mudryk of 5'9", Mudryk is 6 foot inches. David Washington 6'2". Wow, that kid is tall. Raheem Sterling 5'8". Jimmy Turinen 6'2". 2 kids there. Jackson 6'2". Kachila, I'm going with you on. I'm going to be on your side with this one. Poch did Mudryk badly last game. Even after the Newcastle Cup game that he helped us win and all that, he had a decent game in the previous game and once again dropped. Yeah, that's not the first time, actually. You can argue that alone, I think he comes across to me as a very sensitive individual. Such thing can get him again before he gets back to playing well again. He would take 10 games in a row. That's why I don't blame him that much. In all honesty, he hasn't been rewarded for his performances. If anything, he gets dropped. That fans actually knew he was going to get dropped in the next game after that good performance. Because I'm sorry, but Sterling has to start. Mudryk plays 10 and Palmer right. I don't want Mudryk on the wing at all because you've seen him play centrally and you think he played better playing centrally. Chances are we'd see that. Chances are we'd see this. And I think I agree with KC. Either of these two players, we're not, sorry, not Palmer there, Palmer here, and then Sterling starts there. We're more likely to see that. We're not going to see the two of them. I think I agree with JC on that one. So which means Sterling comes in here. Roger, do you agree? Seeing both start, I think it will be difficult. Seeing
it's a stronger chance. It's a stronger chance that Sterling starts as opposed to both of them. But I'll be honest with you. I'm not really convinced about which spot is better for Mudryk. Is it in the middle? Because we've only seen him
once,
in
that
position.
I think twice in the 10 row.
Once or twice, right? So it's not a very big sampling size. He can exploit gaps down the channel on the left. We've seen that time and time again, especially if they don't track back. But I'm not sure which position suits him best. He's inconsistent. He shows us that he has serious potential, but it's so few and far between. I don't know. He's raw. Let's use that term. He's very raw.
And I will always come to his defense, and I'm quite sure you know exactly what I'm going to say next. The manager hasn't been helpful too. He's not been perfect, but when you reward players for their performance, they tend to do more. Who was saying something?
Well, don't forget though, when he first had first few games, he wasn't started based on the fact he had knocks also. So that wasn't all to do with Pochettino. Remember that?
Yeah. You were saying something.
Yeah, because we have seen in games where Pochettino constantly tries to exchange Gallagher, sometimes move him to right and Palmer in the middle like 10. And we saw, I think, Mudryk against West Ham at number 10, and it didn't work in the first part of the season. But it's too far maybe behind, but okay. And to be honest, I mean, none of them have been consistent, and none of them have been given the confident, consistent starts all over forward line. I mean, there have been too many chops and changes every game, and we are near the final stretch of the season, and you cannot put like one solid like given like this is starting like that. There isn't. And you can say down to the injuries, but I don't think like our forward line was that much injured as well, other than Nkunku. And Carney, which has not played at all. You can say just 15 minutes.
Noni also missed the first 5-10 games.
Due to the partying, you mean?
Carney's still out, right?
Yeah, but I think Noni, yeah. Exactly.
He didn't have a preseason, and he missed quite a few.
Yeah.
Let's say 5 to 7 games.
But other than these, like the usual suspects, if you look at them, I mean, none of them has nailed their position.
No,
none of them is a nailed on starter. And
realistically, out of all those positions, forward positions, I'm talking about. Let's be honest. I only have 2 players listed as shall we say, certain starters. That would be Palmer and Nkunku. Yeah. The rest. Sterling, Nicholas, Madueke, Mudryk, maybe half and half for Jackson, maybe, but the rest, they're not starting material yet. That doesn't mean to say they can't be, but they're definitely not right now.
Yeah, Jackson has delivered more when coming from the wings than playing as a 9.
Yeah.
That was the next thing I wanted to talk about, really. I can't wait to see him going back to the flanks and we're playing someone else here. He's been effective. And more importantly, something that I like whenever he plays on the flanks here is that his ability to track back. Defensively, he's been excellent whenever he played on the flanks.
And hold the ball up
And hold the ball up. So, but I guess we don't have the luxury to do otherwise in the number 9 area right now. So he starts. But go ahead, Roger.
Listen, like, for instance, he's played for 60, 70 minutes. Notice when he goes off, he's substituted off. There's a big drop, shall we say, in our ability to hold the ball up. We just don't have anyone like a Giroud to replace him. There's no one that holds the ball up as well as he does. No one. I mean, Palmer, not really. No one. And Nkunku, no, not really. It's obvious, and that to me is worrisome.
They occasionally you have somebody near Jackson, Palmer, or somebody, then they are able to hold on to it, and that's something you can make a cautious plan for that.
But I'm talking about a long ball from the keeper or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
there's no one that does it.
Yeah, I understand, and I'm trying to explain that itself. Like, you can cautiously, you can have a plan for that, because Petrovic is not going to play out from the back all the time. He's not that excellent with the. So when you have Petrovic hoofing the ball forward, don't leave Jackson isolated. Keep somebody along the lines so that they together can work it out. Because Jackson, when he's trying to hold the ball usually trickles down a few distance. And if you have somebody who's taking the second ball, then you can probably try that.
But I would say, to be more specific, he likes it on the carpet, not in the air. Once it's in the air, I think he hardly gets it under control in most cases. But if it's in the carpet,
but physically, coach, he does not like he's not like you're not like hoofing the ball to Sterling or somebody. He still does well, not that good, but he still does not bad, I would say. That's why I'm saying, like, if you have somebody like Sterling or Palmer which in the vicinity, then the second ball can be collected very fast and have a quick counter or something.
Yeah, like Roger, you want to add to that before we move on?
No, I think you nailed it. Listen, I have concerns about these 6 to 7 forwards we have. Realistically, only 2 are of starting quality, and this is why we're talking about other things other than even being clinical. We're just not clinical, and this is, I think, 50% of the reason why, or at least a large part as to why we don't have more points.
Yeah, Raja, I will agree here with you totally, because I mean, you can talk about potential when you are in the early days of the season. Now, when we are almost finishing the season, then you start to summarize what has been, and what has been really not good enough for most of them.
Yeah, just not.
Right, let's catch up with what we have there. If you have any questions for the panelists, please drop in the chat. Where did I stop here? I think he was this guy here, Vic, saying Sterling's hair is more consistent than Sterling, but Mudryk is not ready to bench him. You could argue that. Mudryk possibly plays in the 10 role in this game. Sterling, Mudryk, Palmer, and Jackson could be our front 4. Let's see what happens there. Mudryk had a decent game as a 10. Yeah. But we haven't seen enough to say maybe he should be playing consistently there. So I agree with Roger with that one. Okay, welcome back. Let's see what else we have here. Sterling's here. Yeah, more consistent. I've seen that. I started a new job 1 week ago. Congratulations. That's what we know. We want to see. Congratulations. I hope you're enjoying the job. I think Mudryk should be played in the position of Poch played him last match, or I better play him. Let's see where he plays him. We don't know. False 9, Mudryk false 9. I think he will be wasting his pace. Lavia, damn. Wow. Yeah, tell him that.
Well, wow. They haven't been available, have they? Let's be honest.
So I mean, here's why we'll give them. We won't argue too much against that. That's because we haven't seen them. So it could still go either way, but more likely than not, I think those are excellent signings in my opinion. Connie Chukwuemeka height to 6'2". Ben Welbeck-Shile 6'4". Even looking at him, you'd know that he's that tall. Do we do medicals before we buy players? That reminds me of what Roger said yesterday. That we should prioritize looking at the medical history of players before signing them. Because it's just like, what the heck is this? I don't know. I'll let Roger speak about that.
It's becoming a joke.
Yeah, it is indeed.
It's becoming really frustrating because Lavia 30 minutes, Fofana now. Listen, even let's be honest here. Forget about the bias that we have towards him, but let's look at Reece James. Him and Chilwell, the last 3 years, have not been able to remain fit for a consistent period of time. I'm trying to think. I know it's more than. At one point, it was only 11 games that both Reece and Chilwell had started since the Champions League final. I think it's like in the teens now, but that's a horrible statistic and a damning statistic. Both our captain and our vice captain. It's
what this brings back everything to the previous discussion you were having, like hiring managers is not good. In a sense, it is, but not good. But if you compare from our past, we had a stable core team, and even if you do not have a manager, that team would be confident enough to still go into any game and think of winning it, like more often than possible. They would win them without even a manager. So changing the manager was at a like a flip of a coin is not a problem, as long as the chemistry is working. And if the manager is the hindrance, then you just change him fast enough. The foundation of player and the team was already there. Right now we have is like the whole foundation of the players has been a mishmash. They have not performed, and he was not party to the acquisitions, I think, because he likes to have physical players. That's very sure. We can see that. And he's not much interested in developing youth unless he's made to do that, because he's been crying for experience as well, this manager. And if we look at this manager also, like he is like more historically when challenged. I mean, in PSG, it's not much of a challenge to win trophies, but when challenged, really, he has been a manager to take a mid-table team to somewhere near the top four, or within the top four. But when it comes to winning, he falters in face of solid challenge, I would say that. So he's not like 100% proven manager as well. But if you change him, if you keep him, and then once again try to rebuild the whole team with him, I mean, we just the club has invested so heavily and changed everything, and I don't think it's possible they can change again and again and again. You have to just put in one player there, and like key positions, and then try to improve it. But what we are looking at this, how Pochettino has been performing, I think 1, 2, 3 players will not. With Pochettino staying there, will it deliver? I really do not know. And firing Pochettino and then having again like a new manager with different philosophy. I mean, the club is in a mess right now. Really,
let's put it this way: we were so deep and laden with talent before that Avram Grant and Di Matteo was able to get to a Champions League final and in the latter win it. So what does that tell you?
The players are not experienced. I mean, those were experienced players. They were, when these managers were there, these players had already performed. Their teams had already performed, won the league, and they were all there together for like 3, 4, 5 years.
They had leadership.
Yes, I mean, you call it leadership, but I say it more like once you are playing in a competition and you've won it a couple of times, you've won a few cups there, you are constantly going like last 8 of the Champions League, and with the same set of players, then these players know, okay, I mean, we've been doing this year in, year out. If the manager is sick, okay, go enjoy, we'll manage it. Like take a day off, no problems.
What I say by
and they can still perform because it's like day in, day out. They've been doing it for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Our team has to have belief right now, like Mourinho did with first Carling Cup victory, and with this manager, I don't think we can win anything.
I'm not so sure it's the manager per se, even though that is a factor. I'm not saying it's not. I'm talking about, when I say leadership, I'm talking about on the field. You had 7 national team managers in that squad at one point.
Captains.
We don't have this leadership on the field. We don't have alpha males. There is no John Terrys. There is no Roy Keanes on the field, etc. There is none of that. That is a factor.
Roger, in fact, yes, but I mean, you have to understand, those were like 27, 28, 29 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
They had been performing with Chelsea at the club levels and maybe some Ballack in Germany. And so they had been performing very well in their leagues for a few years, which automatically make them captain material. And since they were together in Chelsea, winning in day in day out, they were captains. So you can have an argument that they were better in Chelsea because they were captains, or maybe they were captains because they were good in Chelsea. It's a debatable thing, but what I'm saying is, like, if there's a team which has been together for so many years and winning, then if the manager takes a holiday of 2 weeks, it's not a problem. So changing manager is not a problem.
Yes, I agree.
You can say like hire and fire culture was there, but consistency was the foundation, and it was there. Right now, we do not have a consistent team as well as a consistent manager. It's a mess.
And we have a youthful team.
Yeah, it's like and to be players to be having a belief and faith and playing together and all, it comes through also winning, and they are not winning. I mean, Carling, the League Cup final, we really had an easy run and a bit of luck against Newcastle in the last minute. Otherwise, we were not. I think if we had difficult teams to play, we might not have been in the final.
But in 2012, when we won the Champions League, I think there's only one player on our current squad that could start for Chelsea in 2012. That probably is Reece James. And then, by the way, he's not even fit enough.
It's a solid argument. Yeah, it's Reece James. Yeah,
Silva would
push fit enough right now.
David Luiz. Silva would push David Luiz.
Yeah, Silva will. Yeah, even probably start over David Luiz.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this season. Maybe last season, the season before, the season before.
Not last. Not we're talking. If we're talking about overall quality, not form, I think he will get into that team easily at the time.
This season, that's why I don't make judgments that readily for this team in this season, because I mean, this season also has been a story of players consistently playing different formations, different out of position.
Yeah,
what they are doing, and the in-game management, like lack of in-game management and all that. So I really do not know. I mean, to be harsh on these players, I don't feel like I don't give up totally on these players as yet.
Yeah.
Although,
Roger,
as we said,
go ahead.
Although, as Roger, we said, like if you start to now having a finish towards the season, so you make start summarizing, and then you summarize. Nobody has been like excellent all season, but still there is hope. But that hope is also there in Pochettino. But there are certain things which Pochettino lacks, which we see. And there are something good, maybe like the team spirit and all that stuff he does. Okay, yeah. So
Roger, you were going to say something.
No, so you look at it, maybe 1.5, 2 players out of 31 that are good enough to start for a talent-laden team in 2012. You know, and I picked that year because we won the Champions League. But you can basically say that about virtually every year from 2003 onwards to 2022.
Roger,
that's how thin we are.
Yeah, but Roger, can I add to that? You know, that team was like a well-established team of players who were at the sunset of their careers.
The pinnacle of their career.
Yeah, pinnacle, I wouldn't say, like, because they were all like 30 or something. Or near
some of them, the last opportunity for them to win that.
Yeah, and in that, if you take in that sense, a young Sterling, I would like to have there. I would like to have Sterling there. I would like to have Palmer there. Yes, but not over Hazard, of course. Definitely no.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, but around that team, yes, and it would have been like the new generation coming under that winning culture and all.
What we're
So
doing is
I would
comparing
not say
apples to
like,
oranges.
yeah, there are players in our team. I would like to have had them near those players, and they would have turned out maybe winners going forward. That's why I say, like, I don't think our team is totally washed. The quality is there. The quality is
Yeah.
there.
Just say, let's hear you. Then I'll go to Roger to round off the show for us. What sort of game do you expect? But before you answer, just give me a few seconds here. Okay. This Okay. He disagrees with Roger on the height issue. Van der Ven is injured again. Same hamstring. If Angie is Poch, Chelsea fans will come for him. But I think he speaks differently. He doesn't.
Who was injured?
Tottenham player.
Oh,
Tottenham winning 1-0. I think after somebody
two
said
zero
2-0
now.
already.
Yeah.
2-0 now. I thought I missed the show. Yeah, but Ty, nice to see you, bro. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. How did we not buy Madison? I was shocked too. I thought we were gonna buy him and for cheap actually. But maybe I don't know why. Big up everyone. Let's see what else we have here. Christopher and Kunku's height is 5'10". Thank you for that information. Villa 0, yeah, as Tottenham 2. Coach, that is why I said that Carling Cup was so important for us to win. We still have the AFA Cup. We could still win that. Anything else here? Let's see. West Ham 0. Burnley. Wow, that Joe Fafana, boy. That kid, it pained me when we let him go out on loan. We had him in the round, I think he'd make a lot of difference. I think we didn't manage his start to life at Chelsea very well. That's how I see it. I like him. I know he's still come good, but chances are he may never get to play for Chelsea again because he would take a lot for that to happen. Good news for us, that's Fafana. Fafana scored a goal for us against West Ham United. Yeah, that's 3 goals in total. So he's enjoying them. He scored a brace under 26 minutes, his first appearance actually off the bench, and helped them secure a point. Poch out, flick in. I've told you I don't want flick, but you're just pushing me anyway. Let's hear you, JC. What sort of game do you expect to see? You know fully well they've been in a better form than us, and they score a lot of goals, a lot more goals than us. But let's hear you. What sort of game do you expect? And I'll go to Roger, get that from him, and then we can call it a day.
Coach, I think the Newcastle is also having a lot of injuries, and they are also not in the best
They
form.
have a lot of important players out. You're very correct. But
And
is that a
they
good
are in
sign?
a
That's usually a bad sign for us, isn't it?
no, they are in a bad form as well. But
Now I'm
normally,
saying if you're going by them being a depleted team, Charity FC is well and truly in existence.
yeah, that's what
You,
I was trying to come back to.
mm.
But you
All
didn't
right, go
listen
ahead.
to
Of course,
what happened.
I had to tap in, right?
So whenever a team is out of form and like they want to break out of something, then Chelsea is the best team to play against. So you
Yeah,
gain some confidence and then go on a
unfortunately.
run. so, but
Unfortunately.
really, I really hope like we score the first goal. If not, like okay, then it can be unpredictable. But otherwise, I think it will be a draw or something, and I'll take
Mm-hmm.
that. But if by any chance we concede like 1 or 2 goals in the first half, the environment in the stadium will be toxic, really toxic.
Exactly.
Then it will really fall apart. Everything will fall apart.
Yeah. Now
Because this
you're
game
getting me
is
even more concerned.
yeah. Let me tell you, this game is so pivotal in the sense like this is the deciding now. Either going forward, will we have any hope of Europe, or we can finish the season and only think about maybe some miracle in FA Cup. If we lose tomorrow, then basically forget about Europe and start planning about Jerry giveaway or whatever it was like. So,
Mm.
but if we win it, yeah, okay, the team can live on for another day. And basically the fan base is very close to, or maybe you can say like the have an argument like the stadium going fans have turned a little bit or almost there. So it will be like the environment might turn into very bad.
Yeah. If Fofana can cut in the Premier League, he will be good next season. That's a good player in there. We know that. Probably was heartbroken when he was told he had to leave on loan. And we had worse players at the time. We had players that didn't want to be here, but he wanted to be here. And I don't want to get into how I felt, how I believe Potter treated him. But that's, by the way, Coach Fofana scored a beauty for Burnley. I'll go check it out because we're rounding off in a few minutes right now. Fofana, 5'11". Yeah, we're getting taller, right? Dr. Fofana has that Aguero type of vibe. I like him. I really do like him as a player. I know he will succeed as a player, but chances are he may never get to play for Chelsea again. That's because it would take a lot to convince the owners and the manager to give him a chance, a real chance. I hope that happens. Newcastle has had a record against us. If we lose it tomorrow, Poch must be sacked. Yeah, that's just your opinion. The Chelsea fans have had enough of Poch and the sporting directors. A lot of people think that's the case, and that may well be the case, but I honestly do not know. Roger, let's hear you. What sort of game do you expect, and we'll call it a day after that.
I think Datra Fofana does have a future with us if, and this is based on if he scores consistently while on loan. It'll be impossible for these owners / managers / back office people, scouts, to ignore the fact that if he scores, 1 out of every 2 games, a goal, at least one, guess what? He's on their radar. It's that simple. It's in his hands. So it bodes well that he's got 3 or 4 goals for Burnley, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure in how many games he's played, but if he's got a dozen or so games left, let's see how many goals he can score when the season finishes. If he gets another 3 or 4, I guarantee you we'll take a look at him. I don't think it's over, but you never know though. What game do I expect?
Yeah, I'm just concerned. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand why, because we have a history of that. Listen, JC nailed it. It's simple. If we go 1 or 2 goals down behind, listen, I know the away crowd is more, shall we say, diehard. Generally, that's usually the case for many clubs, actually. But I think you'll see the crowd turn. And I don't think we have the mental fortitude to come back from 1 or 2 goals down, especially 2 down. So I think it behooves us to score first. I think it's an important factor. It really is. But I think the midfield has to play well here to outplay their midfield. I'm not sure that's possible. It's going to be interesting. Do we play with a back 5 or a back 4? This is another thing. Maybe a 3-5-2 once more. Who knows? I don't know. I have no idea. Out. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it's in all likelihood going to end up in a draw, and I think unless we go on a serious winning streak, which I don't foresee happening, because we haven't been consistent all year. That doesn't mean to say that we can't be, but I think Europe is pretty much a foregone conclusion that we don't make it.
It would take a miracle.
Yeah, we'd have to put a really good run together that I just don't see occurring. That doesn't mean to say it can't. I just don't see it happening, especially with the amount of injuries we keep on experiencing. So I think we'll end up between 10th and 8th. I think Europe's gone for us. But we're going to have to play with fortitude and play wisely. I don't want to see any bloody needless yellow cards also. That needs to stop. The diving needs to stop also. These little things,
we don't want to, you can say, do things that would lead to referees targeting us,
We need to play smart and disciplined. But because of these reoccurring injuries, there's a lack of consistency. And this is what usually happens. So, listen, I look at this remaining 12 games as a elongated preseason.
Yeah.
So I want to see Mudryk start because we don't know what his upside is on a consistent basis. He needs to look at this as a preseason and let's see what he can do. We know what Sterling can do. And you know what? We need to be playing for next year. That's how I look at it.
Yep. Thank you so much, Roger. And Rich Moneymaker saying the Chelsea fans have had enough. I think we've addressed that. And this one here saying, just thanking JC for reminding him of the 150 giveaway. Let's see. Roger, why stop at the back office / janitor / groundsman? Just go away, man. Jackson had 9 yellow cards. And only, I think, 2 of them or 1 of them is from him committing a foul.
Yeah.
If he gets 1, he will miss 2 games. Wow.
Does he miss also FA Cup then?
Sorry?
If he gets another yellow,
I think
does
so.
he miss FA Cup?
Yeah, that's because of the cards. The cards you get during the Premier League game also applies for the to the FA Cup game. So
our next game after this game is FA Cup, so maybe Jackson doesn't start.
Possibly. I'd be shocked if it doesn't. But we will find out. Anyway, I want to say thank you to JC and thank you to Roger for finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I appreciate you all. At some point, it was tense, but usually that's what you get from a good show. People wanted to express themselves, and I'm glad nobody took it personal. It could have gotten to that extent, but we controlled it. We're adults here, all of us. But I want to say thank you to Roger. Thank you to JC. Thank you to Rich Moneymakers, the Maya Fowler, and Vic Myro. JC in the chat, Jerry Z, also all of you in the chat. If I miss your name, apologies, I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
And just quickly, we scheduled a Keep or Sell show. It's already scheduled. I think what date? I can't 14th or 13th. You will see it there. But thank you. See you guys next time.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. So until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind you know I'll always manifest it. I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind you know I'll always manifest it.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to feed. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. So until I have everything, I attack everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be.